All right, guys, we're back at it again. Episode 94, the Third Eye Truth Theorem. This is James Gill, your host, speaking, and Joe, my co-host, is right there.
Oh, I'm still here. Yes.
Good to see you, Joe.
Oh, good seeing you.
All right. Tonight's guest, guys, we have a special guest tonight, a good friend of ours. Been around the area. He's well known in this area. Brad Gorman. Good to see you, brother.
Oh. Sound effects too.
Welcome to the show.
I'm blown away.
Good to see you, man. I'm glad to have you on the podcast. How you been?
I've been great.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, you travel a lot apparently.
I am.
It's
Yeah.
hard to keep in touch with. Not to keep in touch with you, but get you in one spot.
I'm here, there, and everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Benton
Good to-
Harbor, Charlotte, Dubai, Milan, Paris.
Holy shit!
No, not those.
I was going to. Oh yeah, I was impressed.
Ibiza, you know,
I was actually say, what the fuck's in Dubai?
some oil. You know.
Like, what are you going there for?
No, mostly Charlotte and Benton Harbor.
Yeah.
What's in Charlotte?
Charlotte is. So I got married about 7 years ago. My husband got a job
Congrats.
in Charlotte, so that's what brought me down there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so he's down there, you're up here.
Well, we both go back and forth, but
Oh.
yeah, his family's there, my family's here. So we're mostly here in the summer when he's not teaching.
How'd you guys meet?
We met. That's a really good question.
I think I didn't mean to make it a good question, but
Do you want G or PG-13?
we're NC-17, so it's okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
that's all under that umbrella.
You can fucking say anything you want.
Perfect. Oh, okay. Fuck.
There you go.
Oh,
Get it out there.
oh my gosh.
Don't worry, we had this lady that would not cuss at all.
This cannot go on my LinkedIn now. No, we met through a mutual friend originally. His name was Matt, and he lived here in the summer. And so he had the friend Matt up in Ann Arbor when my husband was in PhD program at Ann Arbor, and I had the friend Matt from Benton Harbor. So we knew that mutual person in common. And then I went up to Ann Arbor, hung out with all of Trevor's friends when he wasn't there. And then I found out he had a YouTube series about sex. It was about gay sex. And so we talked about him and joked about his series, and I watched it and I was like, I'd like to meet that guy someday. And then about 6 months later, he was driving through Southwest Michigan, and I saw him on the apps. You may have heard of Grindr or Scrub.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Tinder for gays. And so I saw him on the apps, and he was very close by. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, you're Matt's friend, right? And he was like, yeah, who are you? And I was like, oh, I know you through Matt. So long story short, talked him into coming down for the weekend. He spent the weekend here, and the rest was history.
How long has it been?
It's been 7 years.
Damn, that's awesome.
And travel, like you said, I travel a lot. Travel was a big part of our dating relationship because we were long distance here to Ann Arbor. And like our second date ever, we went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Because he had a trip planned for Puerto Rico. And
You
he was
said
like,
your
"Do you wanna
second
come with
date?
me?" Our second date ever was Puerto Rico.
Right. How many times have you done that? Just go to a different country.
Honey,
For
this is
your
how the
second
gays do it. We got, it's Pride Month.
I know. Actually, I love my first. I'll go back to the Puerto Rico thing for a minute, but my first Pride parade was last year. My ex-girlfriend took me to. She works for Lilly, and they're an ally. So took me down to the parade. One of the best parades I've ever seen in my life.
Was that in Indianapolis?
Yes.
Oh, they do a good Pride. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Down that whole giant street by themselves. I mean, it's awesome. Then we went to the bars and everything else, but it was a great, great experience. Not eye-opening or anything, but because my whole two of my family members are lesbians, so
Oh, cool.
it's the whole thing of that Pride parade was awesome.
That's awesome.
wore
Yeah,
my-
India's a great Pride.
I wore my skirt, my long skirt.
Your kilt?
No, I wore a
Your
skirt.
skirt, you
I
did?
bought a skirt. Yeah,
Okay.
I bought a skirt just for that, and she gave me a Lily Pride shirt. I have two of them.
Yeah.
I wear them.
Yeah, you had that.
I wore
shirt-
one.
Yeah, you had that.
I wore
shirt
one of
on,
them, yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah, I wore one of them on the
Why didn't you wear
podcast.
your skirt tonight?
Because I was going to be burning up. I knew that. And
I'm disappointed. I like the skirt next time.
I knew I'd be burning up on that one. And then we just walked around, shook a lot of hands, met a lot of people. So
Fabulous.
it was awesome. I
That's
might
amazing.
I might be going back down there for it. It's in end of June, around like June 25th, 26th or something like that.
That's amazing.
So back to what you're saying, your second date, how'd you all of a sudden you decide to go on a second date and you just packed your bag and say, yeah, I'll go to Puerto Rico?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of leaps of faith, I think, for us to be dating because we were a
Leap
couple
of faith,
hours apart.
trusting a man and going to Puerto
It is a
Rico.
leap. It's a leap like out
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
continental US. But like when we first started chatting, even on Grindr and Scruff, he wasn't sure about coming down to meet me because we had never met, right? I'm like, hey, come down, spend a weekend here. I'll show you a good time. We were exchanging. Well, I sent him a certain picture, and then he was like, okay, I'm on my way. Um, but yeah, then our second date, he was like, I already have Puerto Rico planned, and I think one of his friends had just bailed out on it, so he was like, I've got extra
Very
space.
Oh,
nice,
that's
very
there.
nice.
Come on down.
I was gonna
that's
say,
why it
how did
worked
that
out.
work out? I mean, but that makes more sense. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. So then we were long distance for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Like the entire time we were dating, we were long distance. So travel played a big role in our coming
So
together.
that's kind of fate right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
a blind leap,
Yeah.
definitely. So so after the trip in Puerto Rico, did you feel comfortable after that?
Well, I mean, there's this one picture of us on the beach, and I'm very like independent, right? I'm like what they call avoidance attachment. I've learned this over the years with therapy.
What is it?
Avoidant attachment. You know, there's attachment styles. There's secure attachment, anxious attachment, like where are you going? You're mine. And avoidant attachment was like, I'm independent. I don't need anybody. Don't tell me what to do.
That's my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. You should read this book.
See?
Attached.
See?
No, seriously.
Damn.
The number one thing a lot of young gays are asking, like, oh, how do you find a good, successful relationship? Or straight people
Yeah.
too. Everybody, you know,
Everybody.
people looking
It's
for
everybody on that one.
relationships. Read the book Attached.
Attached.
Tonight's
Okay.
episode is brought to you by Attached. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. But it's a really good book, and it talks about adult attachment theory, and it's basically like how you're modeled as a child and how you bring that into your adult life.
Yeah.
So I was very independent emotionally as a child, so I basically was like not needing anyone. But anyway, there was a point in Puerto Rico when we were laying on the beach, and there's a picture of me like kind of laying back on him, and I saw that picture, and I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
No.
Because I could tell like we looked like we were dating, and I was like, oh my god, this is getting serious.
The second date's getting serious.
The second date is getting serious. So then we just kept, falling forward into things. And it's really amazing. I mean, we have a very, very blessed life. His family, I love his family. He loves my family. We were just at family dinner at my mom's at 6 p.m. tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
So the approach is totally different now that you found your match. Do you lean on him for certain things, or does he lean on you for certain things?
Well, it's like
So
yin
the
and
whole-
yang.
The whole independent thing. Is that what
Is that gone now? Is that independent?
Oh, the independence of avoidance. Well, it is. There is that kind of independence, and we're yin and yang, right? So
Yeah.
he's very organized. I'm very creative. So like with his podcast, he does all of the analytics and the music and the questions and all. He does everything, and then I come in and do like the marketing
Yeah.
and communication stuff. So I help him with all the creative stuff and how to branch out and explore new guests, new topics, and market it and everything like that. So we play a really good yin and yang in
That's
the
awesome.
relationship.
But you've always been part of marketing for everything else that you've done in your life.
I market
so,
everything.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I mean, that's how you got into, was it Whirlpool?
Yeah.
Didn't you market a lot?
Well,
that?
mostly communication stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So communication's like diet marketing,
Yeah.
right? It's like marketing without a budget.
Actually, it's true.
It's true.
I
But
like,
communication's a little more authentic. We don't buy our ads. We
I like
actually
that you said that like that.
tell the stories. But yeah, I worked in communication at Whirlpool for 16 years. and that
16
was really
years.
fun.
Yeah, that's a long time. He was on billboards.
I was.
Yeah, you made it somewhere when you make billboards.
So what you have? I guess you have.
Yeah.
It was just a billboard and a TV ad and
Yeah.
a radio ad.
Oh, like it's nothing.
That whole thing.
Who me?
I was on
It's just national TV. No, but Trevor actually has a funny story about when we met, because that first weekend I took him here, going to be the same time because it was 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I walk him around the block, and it's our first date week. And I went down the block in Benton Harbor, and in Benton Harbor, there was the double-decker billboard of me. And he looks up and he goes, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that old thing." So he just rolls his eyes because he's like, "Oh, my God."
Oh, what have I got myself into?
I know, right? This diva, pretty much. It's funny, though.
But you're not that big of a diva, though.
No, I'm not. Yes. I hope my husband is listening. Brad Gorman is not a diva.
You're not a diva. I don't think you are. No,
I'm not.
I hate to say this. Sorry, Joey. You're a diva.
Cracks me
Yeah.
up.
Joey DiMaggio is officially a diva. And forever, always
Yes,
has been, always
always
will
will
be.
be,
And we
yes.
love you for it.
Yes. Did you graduate before you or after you?
Before, just
Before, okay.
before. Yeah, there were very few out gays in high school when I was there. I mean, not
Yeah.
including myself because I didn't come out till I was like 25.
I was like, you didn't come out right away.
Mm-mm.
Man, what's the story behind that? How'd you?
Oh, girl.
Was it tough for you?
You ready for the Oprah interview?
Wow, you're really jumping into that. Jesus.
It was brought up, man. Curious minds wants to know.
We laughed about pride. Now tell me how bad things were.
Yeah.
No, it was really challenging. I mean, my coming out process was ongoing, right? It's still ongoing, right? When I interview for jobs or gigs, I kind of have to come out all the time. Believe it or not, people see me and they're like, that is a straight man. Wait, are you blind? But no, it was ongoing. It was most of my 20s, coming out to myself, coming out to others. Actually, fun fact, I have a gay brother, and people say, oh, that must have made it so much easier. And I love my brother dearly. But it actually kind of made it harder because I saw what he went through.
Yeah.
He came out when he was 19. So I was like 16, 17. I saw how terrible it
What
was.
year
for him.
was this?
Wait a minute,
When
you have
that,
an older-
when that
you have
happened?
an
It was
older
the
brother?
90s. Yeah, Ted.
In the
I didn't know
90s.
you had an older brother.
Ted's got a nursery, Blue Star Nursery in
Oh, yeah.
Colorado. Yeah. Yeah, he's wonderful. He's out now. And when he came out, I saw everything that he went through.
Yeah.
And so it actually kept me in the closet for years because I was like,
I
fuck
don't wanna go
that.
through that.
I don't want to
Yeah.
go through that.
I don't
The
blame
fear
you.
and the pain and the
Yeah.
rejection and everything was really tough.
Feel you on
So this was what, the 90s, you said, right?
The late 90s.
Yeah.
90s? Okay.
Yeah, it was like Queer Eye, pre Will and Grace, pre, you
Yeah.
know,
I
it was
mean,
Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the military.
I think it was around what? 90. How old are you?
I was class of 98 in St. Joe, so I'm 44 now, so it was late 90s.
How old are you?
44.
You're only 44. I'm older than you.
I thought you were younger than me. When did that happen?
You look older.
Actually, I was supposed to graduate in 98. So
It's the beard.
Seriously?
What, you were in my class?
no, I was
They hold you
you're
back?
younger than you. No, my family moved from Benton Harbor to
Oh,
here, and they didn't transfer my records because
oh,
they were technically
Ah.
hiding me in Harbor, and I was still going to St. Joe. So there's no open.
Oh
house
yeah,
at
you
school.
couldn't jump schools
You
like
couldn't
that.
jump
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
so I would have to go to Benton Harbor, and they didn't want
these
to
transcripts.
Yeah, they didn't want to they got caught technically. So
Oh.
the school said and pay a fine or your son gets held back. So they
So
just
they paid fine.
no, they just held me back. I was supposed to graduate in 98.
Did you have a brother too? Older?
No, I have a cousin, Jack.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
nice.
thinks we're brothers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a cousin on your other side of your family, your mom's side, right?
Yeah, but he graduated younger than we did.
The hill side. And we're talking about that part.
Yeah,
I got
talking about
you. I
hillside.
got you. I got you.
He knows Jack.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I know Jack. Yeah,
Everyone
he's
knows my
sweet.
cousin.
I think I had a crush on Jack for a moment. Maybe
A lot of people did.
Yeah,
Jack was that kind of a guy.
he was
Cool as
smooth.
hell? Yeah.
He's very cool.
He's that-
way cooler than Joe.
Yeah, he was. Dark complected, long hair down to his middle of his back.
Oh yeah.
Rode a bike all sometimes. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Cousin Jack.
Yes. Were you envious of Jack?
No, because he protected me.
Oh,
Screw
good.
that
That's good.
He protected me in high school.
Aw.
All right. Don't mess with my cousin.
Everybody said no. Everybody said, "Oh, you're Jack Hill's cousin." Oh shit! All right.
Was he
Cool.
He
tough?
was pretty cool.
Nah, he knew a lot of big guys.
Okay.
Then don't want to piss him off because then you get the big guys.
Mm.
So I learned that from.
Mm.
I gave you a fresh water. Where'd that
All
fresh
this
water go?
masculinity.
Where'd you go? Where'd you put it? Don't worry about it. Forget about it.
Oh, I didn't get it.
No, you didn't, Joe.
You got
Yeah.
you got a whole bar here though. You got
Yeah.
display of Southwest Michigan.
Thanks, sir. Right down here.
But yeah, so you're 44. So that's about 20 or at least 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so coming out was like late 90s to early 2000s for me. And I also I pieced out for a while. Well, I pieced out geographically and mentally, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I was up at Michigan State, started coming out a little bit, and then I moved out to LA for a couple of years too, because I was like, well, I'm never going to survive coming out in Michigan, so I'll just do it in
Yeah,
LA.
LA,
do you
yeah.
think it's that
Yeah.
tough to come out in Michigan back then? Or is it,
Oh, yeah.
It was-
not
it
much
was
anymore?
It was pretty challenging. I mean, the narratives we grew up with was like Matthew Shepard.
Especially in this town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the Matthew Shepard
Yeah,
story?
Matthew Shepard story.
He was beaten and killed for being gay. So that was
Really?
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at that time, people were still dying of AIDS.
Still can't
Yeah.
find them.
Still, yeah, it's very sad.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was kind of like the narrative. It was like you're either going to get beaten and killed or you're going to die of AIDS.
That's still rough. Though.
And
That
that's
That's rough.
well, human nature. What they don't understand, they always hate.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And for people to do that, it's uh, the way that I think the way people were raised back then
yeah.
had a big point in it in how to treat people in certain ways,
That's
with
true.
different aspects of life. I just I look at it this way: if it's not affecting me, then I don't have any quarrels with it.
Yeah, like live and let live.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there was a lot of fear narrative too. So even people that cared about people, right? Like when kids came out to their parents in the 90s, it was like, oh, I don't want you to get fired from a job or
Yeah.
discriminated against or beaten up or die of AIDS. So there was a lot of rational fears as well.
I guess my question is, since we're talking about coming out and all that, would be, how did your family take it?
That was an interesting journey. I'll say my mom and I have a wonderful relationship today.
Yeah.
When I first came out, it was after I had come back from LA. When I came out to her, she was probably one of the last people I came out to. And it was bumpy, but at that time I was so like kind of beat up in life. It
But-
just
But wouldn't she already know, since your old brother was?
she didn't really know with me, I don't think. Because when I told her, she said, "Don't even joke like that," basically. So she was a little bit surprised.
Joke would be like that. Really?
Yeah, she was like, "Don't fuck with me like that."
right.
Wow. So were you afraid to tell her really seriously that I'm sorry, I am?
Yeah, but that was also like when I was in LA when I was coming out, I went through a lot of kind of like mental health struggles and challenges. So that's when I was like drinking and using substances a lot. So like when I came back here, I had just newly gotten clean and sober, and so I was really glad to be like
Yeah.
alive and working on
Good for you.
things at
No,
that
good for
point.
you.
Thank you. And so that's why I got my array of drinks. I'm sober like 19 years now, so
Oh,
I'm
good.
not. I don't
Yeah,
evangelize it,
congratulations,
but
man.
yeah,
Oh,
just
I
a
feel
personal
bad. I
journey.
feel like a dick
Good deal.
drinking in front of you.
That's like shots.
Just that.
Cheers. I'll cheers with my ceremonial cacao.
I feel bad drinking in front of you.
No, I don't
Yeah.
get offended. If you light up a meth pipe, we might have to have a
Okay,
conversation.
then,
but
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's later.
Hello. Gee.
it is a Monday, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
You know your weekend for meth doesn't start till Wednesday night.
Hump Day. Third Eye Truth Air podcast is brought to you by Hump Day.
Brought to you by
I
And
never
crack.
thought.
Crystal Meth
said
Wednesday.
that.
You're gonna be
Stop.
smoking crack before you know it. I already tell you.
Nope.
You guys are canceled. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
I have to make an apology to camera.
Oh, well, we always apologize to the camera.
Yeah.
Later on in the show, we
we
always
apologize for everything you said.
I'd like to apologize for everything
We
we
did.
Yeah,
discussed.
just- I
So
didn't mean it.
your mom you finally told your mom,
Yeah.
and would she embrace you? Like, oh,
It was a gradual process, right?
Really?
So she was glad that I was back from California and I was starting to like rebuild my life at that time. So she was just like, I'm relieved that you're here and that you're alive. Um, and so we just kind of like moved forward from that. And today, like she loves Trevor. You know, we go to church, we go to the Affirming Church, Sarah Lutheran, that's right across the street, that has a little rainbow thing on the front for inclusion. She's the organist there. So everything has all kind of come together very well, but it was quite bumpy for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more shocked that you have an older brother. That is too.
Yeah,
I
totally.
didn't know that at all.
Good
Yeah,
chance.
I could totally relate because I mean, not necessarily just being where I was transferred to an all white school.
Yeah.
I could understand the reject, the pushback,
Mhm.
the weird stares, and the whispering under the breath about just me being a certain color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
whispers like that, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks.
For the
Just had a
listeners,
flashback.
for the listeners.
No, just to see how people react to certain things when they don't
Yeah.
understand it.
And those microaggressions, you know, they're micro, but they're aggressions,
Yes.
right? Like they kind of like stick with you, especially in formative stages like teenage
Yeah.
times when you feel like I'm different, I'm not going to fit, they're not going to accept me. Those little things kind of like add up.
But how'd you know though?
How did I know I
you
was
said
gay?
you said you went all through high school.
Well, I kind of always knew,
Oh.
right? Like I don't want to go all Lady Gaga born this way,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I'll sing a verse if you want. Karaoke, the third eye karaoke. But no, like I always kind of knew, like from a young age, I I was talking to my therapist about my coming out story. And he was like, when was one of the first times you knew? And oh God, I hope this doesn't sound creepy, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
But I was in middle school and I was getting a ride home from my high school soccer coach, and I was still playing soccer at the time. And I remember like I looked over in the car and he had hairy legs, and I just thought it was like the hottest thing ever. And it's weird to say because I was so young at the time. I was like in middle school, but I looked at him and I was like, man, I want hairy legs like that. And I was like, I think I'm attracted to this man. But about the time when you would maybe see a movie, like you might remember like seeing like Catwoman and Batman or something and be like, ooh, she's kind of sexy. Like about that time, I was having those type of awakenings for men and for being attracted to men.
I do that.
And so I was just like, and that then it was completely shut down because you would get your ass kicked in the 90s for like hitting on a guy.
Yeah.
So I just really fear of my own safety, sanity, existence. And it's seeing through what other people went through. I was like, I shut it down.
You hit it very well then.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
As a part of your group of friends, who did they know? Did they know
I always thought he was dating
or
somebody.
have some kind of idea, inclination that you were leaning
Not
that way?
specifically, no. I didn't really come out to anybody close to me till after I was back in Michigan, like after the LA experience. I'd say maybe a few people from here or from MSU knew because it was like a gradual coming out process. So like my very, very dear friend Aaron, who I've known for 25 years, like
Isn't that? Yeah, I know.
yeah, we had some deep conversations. We're still very close today.
Yeah.
So we had some conversations about it, and other people may have assumed. But then after I went to Michigan State and LA, it was like a completely new existence of myself. So I could have friends that knew and friends that didn't. Oh my God, such a hot mess. Like at MSU, I was in a fraternity and I wasn't really out to them till the second year. So it was kind of like,
You were in a fraternity?
yeah, I was a Phi Kappa Psi at
Really?
MSU. Yeah. Phi Psi.
Okay.
I'm still kind of connected with them, but I was like the first out gay Phi Psi. And, you don't want to be the first anything. You don't want to be the first black guy in all white school, not to project that, but you don't want to be the first anything because people are like, oh, that's so great. But it's like, it's fucking terrible. It's rough.
Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw this non-binary actor that was getting asked on the red carpet last night about winning, and every single question was not about their acting. It was like, you're the first non-binary to win this award. You're the first non-binary to do this. What do you say for your community? And then they're getting all this hate from all these people. You don't want to be the first anything, but you do, and then you move on from it.
Yeah.
But do you think people, I mean, since you did the advertising for LMC and Whirlpool, they use that for it against you? They use that?
Well, do you mean the companies would use your identity?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so at all. Like I was very proud of the inclusion work that I did for different organizations. So for LMC, MSU, Whirlpool, a little bit for GM. And I think at that point it is representation, right? It is challenging as you move up in the organization as well, championing those causes. But I think that was for the right reasons at the right time and the right place.
I like that. I like that answer.
Yeah.
Good job. I like that answer.
But yeah, the fraternity was rough.
So yeah, how did they take it? The fraternity?
Well, it was like, it was just so broy. It was like,
I need to see it.
It was like, okay, I'll give you an example, a story, because stories, make more sense. So I came out my senior year in the university, and I was the first out gay Phi Psi at my chapter. There were about 50 guys. And we're in the basement of the fraternity house, right? And you have this thing called last chapter, and it's like your last chapter meeting, and you all go down in the basement, you drink, and you kind of roast each other. So all these guys were roasting me. And this one guy, I think his name was Joe, actually. It wasn't you, was it?
Nah.
But he was roasting me, and he was one of the last people, and everybody's kind of drunk. And I drove a little red convertible. And he said, Brad, as soon as I saw you driving that little red convertible, everybody's laughing, everything like that. He was like, I should have known that you were a faggot then.
Really?
Wow. And it was like,
it wasn't even a roast. It was just being
right.
Wow.
It's like that type of shit over and over and over. It just kind of like,
that's harsh.
Yeah.
For being the, how did the other brothers handle it?
Well, that's the thing is about half of them laughed, half of them were like, "Whoa, that was fucked up," and, he shouldn't have said that, came
Yeah.
up to me afterwards. But you just keep moving through those things, you know?
But
It's a
but they
microaggression.
didn't know.
No, he knew at the time.
Oh, he knew.
Yeah,
Okay.
He
he knew
knew.
at the time,
Yeah,
yeah.
he knew because I was out to most of them. Yeah, so it was probably challenging for them too.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
but
still,
it's
back
a lot
then,
better now.
back then I mean, yeah, back then it was still hard. It was still rough. It was still something new diving into the communities. That just like someone with all tattoos up and down their arm.
It was new, yeah, it was
And
different.
back then, you could never find a job. You were never gonna get a great job somewhere with a tattoo all up and down your arms, on your
Yeah.
face, or anything like that. Now, people took that in. People take you in.
Mhm.
People take you in. I mean, all this stuff's going around where it's coming around, but people that are still a certain age still gonna look at you, but it's not right. But that's how people are, because that's how, like you said, it's how they're
Well, you
raised
think
in
about
their
it,
generation.
that generation is dying off
Yeah, it's true.
eventually.
Yeah,
Oh, they are dying because
And
they're
people
found their stuff
are
too late.
being more conscious of what's going on around them as
absolutely.
far as race, sexual orientation,
Yeah.
doesn't matter, or religion doesn't matter. People are starting to wake up and open their
Smell the coffee.
eyes
Yeah,
to seeing people for who they really are instead of just what they consider themselves as.
exactly. Yeah.
And that goes a long way because if you think about it, if we all had the same mindset where we
Mhm.
just like to accept people for who they are and not for what they claim to be,
Hmm.
this world would be so much better.
Hmm.
We're always pitted against each other,
Yeah,
like a divide and conquer mechanism.
absolutely.
And it is sad, especially in this country alone. It's
Yeah.
really sad. And I can see why people would want to leave this country to a degree
Yeah,
and go somewhere else and start over or just try to do something different. Just to
right.
get away from
The BS.
the BS, the turmoil that people have to
Yeah.
go through.
And I've had to work on my like creating false barriers between me and other people too with my identity, right? So I've had to, not all straight guys are gonna call you a fag in the fraternity house basement or get
Yeah.
over kind of those humps. I've worked with my therapist about that sometimes because I'll be like, oh, well, gay guys are like this, or gay guys are like this, and he'll be like, oh, is that gay guys or is that all men or is that all people? Like, I don't want to like reinforce those differences of myself to make myself feel different.
Yeah.
And then that too has given me a lot more empathy for other points of view. Like I can have a lot more empathy for people that might have grown up in a different environment where maybe they're homophobic because of their religion or some type of background. So it's given me a little bit more, I don't know. I focus more on the
I'm
commonalities
just
now.
not homophobic. I'm not. Not to a certain degree. I'm not.
Mhm.
Not at all.
I mean,
I-
you think about it. I mean, if you were raised a certain way, I mean, you back in the early '90s, you hear people saying all kinds of derogatory terms against people in the gay community,
Yeah,
and it was normal for everybody to say that.
it's true. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Or people that with mental illnesses
Yeah.
call you different names.
Very common, the R word, all kinds of derogatory stuff.
all kinds of stuff like that. Even the N word was still said in the early '90s and the late
Absolutely.
'80s. Still
Yep.
said that, and trust me, I've heard my share of it. But
Wow. Said, written on lockers, all kinds of crazy stuff.
it takes some serious mental fortitude in order to just like get past that,
Yeah.
and it weighs on you heavily.
Hmm.
Heavily. I mean, especially mentally. Just it takes its toll on you. And
Yeah.
if you don't know how to handle that on a day-to-day basis, you would drown in all that anger and all that
You
bullshit
will.
that's going on in the world.
Yeah. And you'll kind of get stuck in resentment. I've
Yeah.
worked a lot on resentments over the years. I had a lot of resentments.
And I'm proud of you that you went to the therapy to figure this out and get some help with
Thank
because
you.
I'm sure you had it had a tough, I mean, last 13, 14 years, maybe
Yeah.
13, maybe even more than that.
I can't. Yeah.
20?
20? Oh my God.
20.
20.
20
Yeah,
years.
20
Like
years.
25 since Chili's.
See, yeah.
It's a long
So
time.
it's a long time.
Oh my God.
That's right. You worked at Chili's.
Yeah,
We go way back.
Yeah, we go way back.
First server, trainer, bartender
Yeah,
crew at
yeah,
Chili's. Are you
yeah,
kidding me?
yeah.
We opened like the first chain restaurant in St. Joe's history,
Yeah.
the first new chain restaurant, and it has peaked, declined, and closed since we've seen each other. Okay. We have seen the fall of Rome in fast casual restaurants.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, it's true.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
We were
the shit.
chili heads. You still got your pins? I've still
No,
got-
I threw those things away. a long time
I
ago.
was so proud of my flare.
Yeah, you.
I was a little surfer nerd, please.
Actually, I do remember you guys there. I remember him there because I always went to go see him there. But
Because you were bartending, right?
Yeah.
yeah, me and him go back before that when he
Before
was when he was working at Foot Locker.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, I used to
You guys
do
go
that.
back to BC before
Yeah,
Chili's.
90s or
Yeah.
mid-90s.
Mid 90s.
Holy shit, that's been a while.
Foot Locker
Yeah.
in the Orchards Mall.
Yeah.
Foot
I
Locker.
did that for a whole year. Now I'm
That's
done.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool job. I mean, in the 90s, working at Foot Locker, I think was like the coolest job you can
I
have.
think it was because we all stood out there with stripes on and
Yeah.
I have a friend that still works at Foot Locker.
And you got the latest like Jordans and everything right there. Yeah.
First pick of the litter.
You know John.
John.
Can't think of his name now, his last name, but he used to work. Actually, used to be a bouncer and all that. That way back in the day, but
Maybe.
he still works at Foot Locker in the Mishawaka. He got a plaque for selling
the most shoes or shoestrings.
most shoes or
You
something like
used
that.
to sell all kinds of stuff. Doing
Most shoes, most Jordans or whatever
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah, got a big old
Good.
plaque.
that.
got
Yeah,
to
that
meet
was
Got to meet the
that was a
founder.
fun time. I had a fun time.
Hmm.
Fun time. You got any questions for us? I see you had some paper over there.
Oh, I've got all kinds of questions.
Throw something at us.
He's got questions for us.
Throw something at us.
All right, Third Eye hosts, here we go.
Oh shit!
Why don't you call it the Gillen Hill Show?
We've talked about this, haven't we? We've talked about this. He asked me, and he said, "Hey, if somebody asked me and pay this money to change the name, would you do it?" And I said, "Fuck yeah, I would. Yeah,
How
I'd
did
change
you
it."
find that out?
Huh?
Did you post it?
No, I didn't post
No,
it.
I
didn't
literally
post it.
this was out of my brain because
Yeah.
the names rhyme, you know.
Oh yeah, because we made that up, and I thought you posted it.
No, I never posted it.
Yeah,
at
that
all.
was the name that he
Yeah.
thought of too.
Gillen
I'm
Hill
just good
Show.
with words.
Gillen Hill Show. Yeah, I was. Yeah. We thought.
I thought it was kind of funny how you just said that. I think, did you post
I
that?
didn't say anything.
I didn't either.
Brad, it's a genius here.
And then,
Here's
but why is it called the Third Eye Podcast? Because it
No,
makes me think very woo-woo
Yeah,
things,
I like
right?
that.
Like very spiritual.
If you think about it, opening your third eye lets out all the knowledge. You get all your knowledge through that.
Yeah,
right?
totally. It's right
It's the
here.
truth.
Mine is calcified. I need to
Yeah,
unblock it.
I think everyone's is calcified.
Yeah.
But if you have that power to soften it again and gain that knowledge,
Yeah.
you can open the higher learning, the higher consciousness,
Ah,
which is the crown chakra, which goes through all the chakras, 7 chakras.
cool.
But you have to work through that. I have tattoos of the chakras on my arm,
Oh, cool.
and the first is the core, not the core chakra, but the root chakra.
Okay.
And you have to go through all the chakras and go to get to a higher level.
Fascinating. So going through the chakras then opens the third eye. And that's like light. And is that like for communicating out or listening or both ways?
Bring it both ways.
Oh,
Both
that's
ways.
so cool.
Then you go to the last one is the crown chakra.
Okay.
That's the higher consciousness.
Oh, that's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm working on that with my
Whoa,
therapy and recovery.
It's higher consciousness.
I'm
That's
working on unblocking all my chakras.
that's how we describe it. The reason we name it.
The food that we eat, the stuff we put in our bodies, calcifies the root, the crown, the third eye.
I heard that.
Tell
Yeah.
them why we named it.
What do you mean? What
How did
came
you
up
come
to
up with the name? Yeah.
Well, I was always thinking of, and people think of conspiracies and things of that nature that goes along with it, and it's totally far from that. Totally
Oh,
far.
okay. Okay. So it's not like a.
It's more
Illuminati
getting
thing.
your truth out.
I love that.
That's why I based it on.
Well,
Okay. We're not going to be like Beyonce's and the Illuminati.
we
No,
were
no.
no, we were
Nobody's
actually
doing this right here.
Okay.
Anything
I'm
like
like,
that.
don't do
None of that stuff right there.
We're going to apologize to camera for this.
Sorry, at the end, we'll say our apologies at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I
Well,
promise you.
we were sitting down at Czars. We were sitting down at Czars.
I miss Czars, RIP.
And
Yeah.
He was out. He was the bartender. Dana Hacker was the karaoke or
Yeah, he was doing
karaoke,
karaoke.
and I was just the patron at that moment.
And we all sit down at the
Yeah.
end of the night and we talk. And I'll say, "Hey, I'm thinking about opening up do a podcast."
No way.
And so I got a name. I was like, Third Eye Truth, and couldn't come in with anything else besides that. And Dana threw the theorem in,
Yeah.
I
which
love
is
that.
cool as hell when I heard. I said, "It has a ring to it."
That's cool.
So then the 4 founding members were Dana, Eric Bradford, me, and James.
cool.
And we were all sitting, us 4 at this table.
Mismatched chairs,
Yeah.
the whole weird setup that we had.
But we were just talking about everything around in the year 2020.
That's when
And that's we're supposed
Was
to
this
be around.
pre-COVID? Yeah.
No,
Pre-
this is during COVID.
Oh,
yeah,
it's during COVID.
that's
This
when
is when
yeah.
we weren't supposed to be around anybody.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're at this table drinking cocktails, talking about everything in galore and recording it. But he's the one, Dana's the one that thought of the name with James.
Cool.
So that's how this name got started.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So
I love
that
that.
stuck with it.
I'm so glad because I love woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, that's how we all started.
Yeah.
This was with them.
But
Then they got jobs. Dana got a great job doing traveling and everything else. Eric's still painting and doing everything he's doing. And
they came on our
Yeah.
50th episode.
Oh, cool. To honor them.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
get those guys back.
we had our
together.
50th show here talking.
Yeah, and it was
but
fun. It was pretty fun.
It was
That's
fun.
so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Congrats on the 80th just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's really booming now. It's a lot of work.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of work, but I definitely I can't speak for Joe, but I enjoy doing it.
I enjoy doing it too. I enjoyed also watching his face getting happier and happier every single time he's doing this show.
Oh, I love that.
Because there was at one point where it was just like at a standstill, it was stagnant,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Joe was like, "We gotta get back."
I kept on pushing him because we didn't
You
get.
gotta get your ass moving, man. Come on, let's do it. And finally, we got one show in, and the wheels start turning, and
That's
people
great.
started watching. Say, "Do you need to do more? Keep going, guys." Started with one episode a week. Now we're up to two. I mean, from 2022 February.
February.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
So yeah, it moved right along.
And we're booked out till end of August.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah.
2 shows a week.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's a machine.
Yeah.
It's a media machine.
We put it
I,
out
I,
there, man.
I call people, say, hey, can you do this day? They said, no, I can only do this month. I said, okay, pick a day in that month. And they
Wow.
talk to them, and I said, I'll remind you that month or it gets closer. So
Well, I also have to say what a tremendous opportunity for a business that wants to grow and
Yep.
get their brand or
Yeah.
their voice in front of a community. This is becoming known as the voice of people of Southwest
Yes,
Michigan.
exactly.
Like you guys are telling the untold stories.
Yep.
What an opportunity for a brand or a company to sponsor that.
or even like good one that I found, like they just opened up downtown Berkey's Cafe.
Yeah.
Moody on the Market posted something, a small little blurb on Facebook about him.
Yeah.
So I contacted him right away and I said, hey, I have this podcast. And I did my whole speech on him. I actually, no offense, I cut and paste that.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I cut and paste that and I send it and I just changed the name. One time I didn't change the name. Oh shit,
my
that still
gosh.
says Mike on it. Fuck, that doesn't. That's
It's
not
like, hi, insert name here. I'd like to talk to you about that.
I wish I could do that. That'd be kind of cool. But so I send that out to him, and he said, "Hell yeah, I'll do it." And he talked about his brand, and he's got 5 restaurants.
Oh, cool.
The one in St. Joe, and then the rest in.
Different
Dwajack,
various
yeah.
places throughout.
And he's
lower
only
Michigan.
what 28 years old, and he wants
Yeah.
40 by the time he is 38, 35.
10
Wow.
years. Yeah,
Yep.
he's
That's
moving in the right direction
That's amazing.
because he does. I mean, he doesn't have the hand. He has everybody underneath him to run it for him.
That's great.
Something that's
So
I love those
he does the
entrepreneur
marketing and
The real entrepreneur story.
and he's a big church person, and he goes and he and everything else, and
Cool.
he's just phenomenal. His food's great. His food's fantastic.
But he had some backlash about being a Christian,
yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw
because he posted that first. I mean, thank God for everything and what we're
He's a great
doing and
guy,
stuff
though.
like that. And there was some backlash against him.
interesting.
Yeah, because his religious faith.
Yeah, I see that with
And-
Chick-fil-A. And
But he said, James, we're going to promise you get the best service
that's
if you
good.
walk in. And we took him up on his word.
We took his word because he said
Yeah.
if you don't have good service, it's still on me. But if you have good service, you guys are gonna keep on coming back. And so I did the whole post on it and I said he had great service.
Yeah,
Come
it was,
on out.
it was great. Those
Oh,
guys were
Great.
really nice. And,
Yeah, he bought us our food. I've been going there like every other week.
That's
I-
great.
I
I'm gonna
go-
have to check it out.
I go between there and Copper.
Cool.
I love
it's
Copper.
a really nice little establishment. I'll tell you that
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Oh yeah. Any other questions, or do you want us to ask you now?
No, I just had congrats on 80+ episodes. Congrats on your daughter's new apartment. Just stuff
Yeah.
from us.
much.
I did my backgrounder.
Yeah, she actually I contacted her the first week on that Friday.
Now, how's she doing in the newer place?
She loves it. The people before that had a cat, and she's allergic to cats.
Oh.
And her boyfriend is too. And
2 peas in a pie. All right.
and they said, "Hope we get immune to it." I said, "You're not going to get immune to it. I'm sorry. It's you got to take shots for that, but
Not necessarily. You can
it's not going to
a
be.
gradual immunity to it.
They won't, because once that smell's gone, they're coming back
They're
around.
immune. Oh,
No, once they get back around to a cat, they're gonna get really sick.
they won't. They'll be
They want a
fine.
cat, and she wants a cat.
She likes
Oh,
cats.
bless her
She's
heart.
allergic to cats.
Cats are nice.
She's allergic
Cats
to
are
cats.
I thought I was allergic to cats, but I'm not.
I thought
I
I
have
was
a cat.
allergic to cats too, and I'm not.
I have a cat at home.
My husband had a cat, and when we moved in together, I said I'm allergic to cats, but then I was completely fine.
Were you
Yeah.
sneezing?
I used to. Well, my aunt has a lot of cats, so I'd go over there and get all sneezy.
That's
But this
probably
one
why.
cat, know me. I mean, we loved her. We just put her down last December. It was very sad.
Sorry, I heard that.
But she was great, and I wasn't allergic to her. She was so sweet.
So going back and forth traveling,
Yeah,
do you have a lot of flyer miles? Probably, right?
so many. We only fly on miles. I fly direct from South Bend to Charlotte, only on miles.
Is there a direct flight from here to Charlotte?
Direct flight, yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Only on miles that you
So
accumulate over the
Well, we
years.
get credit cards,
Yeah.
and then we open them. My husband is like a master of miles. I'm
oh,
serious.
that's actually
Oh,
nice.
really?
That's what my ex-girlfriend did. Yeah, she almost bought me a trip with her to Arizona. And she was
Just on miles alone.
just on her
Work
miles
with it,
alone,
though.
just her miles alone. How she travels all the time on
Yeah.
Southwest, and you
That's the
just
thing right
bank
there, you
that
have to
up. And she-
travel a
no,
lot.
and she has a Southwest card, Southwest American Express card. So every time you use that card, it goes to the points for your
Okay.
miles.
Okay. So you have to use the card, definitely.
Yeah, so
The miles are great.
Makes sense.
yeah, that's what she always used. What do you do with your house here?
Well, we have two places here in Benton Harbor now,
You have
and one
two
place in
places?
Charlotte. Yeah, so two places in downtown Benton Harbor. We have the Music Loft,
Mhm.
and we have the Candy Loft. Candy Loft I've had for like 12 years, and then we have the Music Loft.
I
which
didn't
is-
know about the music one.
Yeah, it's
knew the Candy
newer
one.
as of a couple months ago.
Okay.
It's upstairs from the music center
Yeah.
down there. It's beautiful, the Citadel Music Center. And so like we hear like, cello playing and piano music downstairs. We
Oh,
think
that's
it all music with like a record player and old music shop signs on the
Yeah.
wall.
Do you Airbnb it?
We Airbnb both of them. Yeah. So Candy Loft is Airbnb almost all the time. Music Loft is just Airbnb on the weekends. Charlotte is Airbnb during the summer.
You guys, revenue
I
coming
think
in.
Brookie's is entrepreneur. We're gonna have 40 Airbnb by the time I'm 35. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude,
But
dude,
we're
the-
trying to hustle.
his places are nice though.
Yeah.
They're really. I looked at the one on Airbnb for the candy one for somebody
Yeah.
when they're coming up here, and they almost got it, but it was already occupied that time they were going to come up here. So,
So let me know if it's ever a friend because I'll give you a discount.
oh sweet. Hey, look at that.
This episode is brought to you by the
Yeah,
Candy
yeah.
Loft, Benton Harbor.
Oh yeah. Actually, it's a nice loft though. It is. It's a beautiful loft.
So you guys both collaborate on the decorations as far as that
I'm
goes?
more of the creative concept and he's more of the execution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you mean execution? What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm like, I mean, he's like he does so much work, bless his heart. But I'm like, let's have like a record player and like all these display panels
Oh.
and like this old record shop sign here and this theme and this kind of color tones and vibes.
Yeah.
And he's like putting together the like furniture that like to look beautiful and everything. So we get it covered.
That's the one that right next door to the mason jar, right?
Yeah. Yep. My little office room overlooks
Yeah.
the mason
Okay,
jar.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
I just went to the
great
mason jar the
spot.
other day.
You did?
It's so good.
Have you been there lately?
No, I haven't.
They expanded it.
Oh yeah,
They
it's
got-
like taking over the art thing. So
Oh,
They
it's
that-
took over all the art.
next door area.
No,
part?
no. Inside that building,
Yeah.
they took over
The
the
building, I mean, the space over next
Yeah.
door.
yeah, no, those.
Well, you know what I'm talking, in the same building.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So they
art,
took
yeah.
over the people's spots because they were renting them out. So they made the dining room in the bigger, and they have a whole back bar now.
Oh, nice. That's what they're doing the whole time.
Yeah, they did a whole back bar where that's a nice back where I would say where the kids used to play and run around back
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, that's
that
yeah, I
whole
did see that.
that whole back bar now is all
So a
redone.
whole, bigger bar.
Bigger bar where you
Yeah.
can sit down, has alcohol. You can drink there, have mimosas,
That's
Bloody
great.
Marys.
I always send people over there that stay Airbnb. Can
I
I
do.
take
Yeah.
my clothes off? Is that okay?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I get warm.
I figured you're gonna get warm. I saw that. Like
I
damn,
know. Why did I thought I was
like,
gonna get
Jesus, I'm sweating just
cold.
looking at you right now.
Is that why you're
excuse
sweating?
my
I am sweating.
strip
Actually.
show.
I'm sweating right now.
As Brad changes his clothes, we'll continue.
Yeah.
Can you play some stripper music?
There you go.
It's not that kind of pride. It's not that kind of Pride Month. Oh, I do have a little
It is.
tchotchke
It
for you
is
guys,
kind of
though.
Pride Month. It is Pride Month.
Well, not strip shows Pride Month.
Well, it
I
could.
do have little tchotchkes for you guys from IML. It's a festival in Chicago.
Okay.
They're little Steamworks illuminated. Don't Google Steamworks. You don't need to know what that is. But it's just a
A
giveaway.
little pig.
Yeah, it's a little pig. It's a
Ah,
little
it's
light up
cute.
pig. Yeah.
What lights up?
Yeah, you push on the button on the bottom and it lights up. So that's my happy Pride pig.
There you go. Thank you, Brad.
Pride pig.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that fun?
I could find my key. Turn on key now
Exactly.
in the dark.
Oh,
That's pretty cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're right on my key.
I like that. I'm gonna put it on one of these things.
Put it on a drink.
Yep.
You're right over there, Joe. You're so happy.
I'm always happy when I can do that stuff. Look at that.
Yay!
Look at that. Oh, it doesn't work like that.
The weirdest gift you got.
Need some light, Joe.
He's like a little mascot.
Dude, I like it.
I like it. Definitely.
I like it.
Yeah.
I always like when they get stuff. Doesn't matter what it is.
Cool.
I'm not used to getting stuff all the time here.
Bullshit.
I asked for
Look at all that over there. Look at all that, Joe.
I
The array
asked
of
for this
tchotchkes.
shit.
Look
Yeah.
at all of that over there. You
I
have
say, hey,
food
if you,
here.
I say, if you really want to bring stuff, you can bring
of
stuff.
course,
I
of
asked
course.
for this
You
shit,
love
though.
it. So,
But I asked for it, and when they finally do bring it,
yeah.
I'm happy.
I should have brought you guys some ceremonial cacao too. I'm obsessed with cacao. and I
Now,
drink
what
it.
is it? Coffee of some sort? Or
No,
no?
it's ceremonial cacao.
I have no
You
idea.
keep saying cacao like
Yeah.
we know what the
I
cacao
know
is.
it's
or-
special, right?
I think it's cuckoo.
Cuckoo. It makes you cuckoo. No, it's from Guatemala, and it's just the like fresh organic cacao plant that's ground.
Yeah.
And so it's like, chocolate. Like people say, "Oh, I love chocolate. I love chocolate." Cacao loves you.
Wow.
it's
So it's all organic.
It's
Chocolate.
organic,
Yeah.
it's ceremonial grade, and they use it in ceremonies. So I've been really big into plant-based medicines with my recovery journey and everything like that. And so cacao has something called theobromine in it, and it opens up your heart space. So it helps with any like blockages that you have in your heart,
Yeah.
chakra, love, feeling love. So it literally like kind of opens up this like blood flow, like physiologically, it's like helping your blood flow a
Right.
little bit, but emotionally and spiritually, it might be opening up your heart space.
Wow.
So I drink ceremonial cacao almost every day.
Now,
Next time I'll bring you
how
some.
do you get this? I mean, you just like, can you order it online or?
I have a dealer.
Don't look at me like
I'm
I
sober
don't deal
19 years.
Yeah.
No, but
I
this
don't
is
deal
just
with stuff.
cacao. No, but it's she is amazing actually. She's in Charlotte. She's Russian, and I go to her house and I get it powdered up in a bag. And so I like go and like give her mom $50 and I walk out with this little bag of powdered cacao.
Is it white?
No, it's brown.
Thank
Okay,
God
good.
it's
Thank
not
you.
white.
Thank you.
This
You
is
got
not like
pulled
me
over,
in
man. That'd be
MSU days.
Dangerous. That'd be
No, this is not
dangerous.
like my LA days at all. This is cacao, and it's very good, and it's
Good.
very legal. It's perfectly legal.
It's for really
Short for cocaine. No,
Cacao.
I'm joking.
Joking.
I'm
That's what I'm thinking.
joking.
Cacao.
I'm joking. I'm
It's
totally-
brown cocaine.
I'm joking.
No,
Pure.
no coke. No coke.
Sorry,
Lord.
Brad. Sorry, buddy.
No, but I have found.
It's pure.
Have you guys ever talked about or had people talk about like psychedelics for mental health
No,
or plant medicines?
No.
That's
no.
interesting.
Speaking of which, this is Men's Mental Health Month.
It is. June
Yes.
is Men's Mental Health Awareness
Yes,
Month,
yes.
which is very important because depression,
Yes.
suicide,
Mhm.
ADHD, all these things can a lot of times go undiagnosed with men
Swept
because we
under
have
the rug.
such a hard time talking about our emotions.
Yeah.
No.
So right under the rug, and we don't express ourselves enough.
Exactly.
But
you
this
don't.
this is
You don't.
this month I will.
Good.
Oh,
James, what's been the most challenging thing to deal with
Just
me.
besides Joe?
damn, how did you know I was gonna say that? Well, I don't know, just being able to express myself openly, just being, I don't know, holding things in. I do that a lot. And
Are you holding in happy emotions or sad emotions?
all the above.
Interesting.
All the above. Just sometimes I keep a lot of things to myself. I mean, I think I don't know if that's the way I'm wired, but I don't think that's the case. It's just me not being, especially at a younger age, maybe
Yeah.
not being able to, because as a kid, I was always made fun of.
Mm.
I had a couple of cousins that we were all in the same boat. We had with our family had their favorites.
Huh. Oh, you're made fun of by family people.
That too.
Oh,
That too.
I always thought you were so cool. You never even know this thing about people.
And that's that's where I hit it pretty well.
Wow.
But
Fascinating.
as a young man growing up, I was always made fun of, especially by people in my neighborhood,
Okay.
family members, things of that nature. And man, I get it. In families, we all make fun of each other.
Yeah.
But
Was that for physical traits or things you couldn't
I think
control or just everything?
things that I picked up on the way as I was growing up, like I
Oh.
wouldn't speak the normal language in the neighborhood. I was sound like I was quote unquote white.
Oh, okay. That has to do with the school thing
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that's
So I went to
tough.
Paloma in third grade,
Oh, okay.
and I realized that all white people weren't as what my grandma and my mom said they were. So I'm
Mm,
like, okay, these people are pretty cool, and they're nice people.
interesting.
Even though we heard the N words and way kids were raised and things of that nature, it was just something I wasn't used to, but that I gravitated towards at the same
Wow.
time because I wanted to feel like in place.
Fascinating. So how does that shape your identity to look at me? I'm like taking over the
Oh,
interview.
that's good.
But I think
That's
it's
great.
very interesting. How does that shape your identity today and how you show up? Is it masculinity? Is it race? Is it gender expression? Is it emotions? Like how does that shape how you show up today with people?
I would say a little bit of everything, just a splash of everything,
Mm,
because being black,
mhm.
I'm 6'3". I can look intimidating sometimes,
Yeah.
but if you get to know me, you know that I'm not that type of person.
Yeah. That makes me
Uh,
think of my friend John too.
um, uh, I have a deep voice, so
Mhm.
that's kind of offsetting for some people. I don't know, it's all kinds of things that factor into the way I am now, and
Fascinating.
I grasp it, I embrace it more or less now than I
Gotcha.
used to.
So more ebbs and flows. So if you were to like that, you know, that little light inside of that pig,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little light inside of all of us that wants to like shine brightly, like out our third eye and out our crown chakra. If that was like shining as brightly as possible for you, like out every chakra and everything like that, what would that look like to you?
It would have a glow that would be unseen by the naked eye. If you had the eye that could actually see it, then you would like, man, this guy's a decent person, decent human being.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I just I think because some of the stuff that I went through in my life, I
Mm,
mean, from being in trouble for law, things of that nature, it's kind of offsetting for me.
mhm,
It's all offsetting to myself as well because I know I'm not that type of person.
mm.
But if you with the untrained eye, people can't see who I really am. This is what I'm trying to say. But people that know me the most, my closest friends, the people that I've had around me for years,
Mm,
can see that glow.
that's really beautiful.
See that glow. So I mean, that's the way I see it. And a lot of people don't get it. I still get called Uncle Tom by black people because I
Mm,
work in a white establishment, and which is it doesn't bother me because I know that Uncle Tom wasn't quote unquote what black people think it is. It's Sambo is what they're trying to think of as
mm,
somebody that turned on their own race. So
mm,
they got it all wrong in history, right?
mhm.
So I kind of chuckle at that because, oh, you
It's like an
know,
insult, but it's not even
it's not
used
even an
right.
insult. You're not
Yeah,
even using it right.
yeah.
So I mean, this lady called me that because I waited on her first, and then I waited on a white couple,
Mm,
and then I didn't pay enough attention to her. So I'm
mm,
like, you know what? You sound ridiculous right now. I won't
mhm.
even address that. So the race part on both sides played a big part in my life. Um, but I know I grew out of that. You know,
Mm.
I was a scrawny kid with a big head, and
Mm.
still have a big head. But I got the whole neighborhood made fun of me, and my whole family, because we all had these heads, and they used to call us the gill heads.
Wow.
Yeah, just something like that. It's just
I've seen some of your family members. Yes,
Big
I've seen
heads.
some of your family
It's because
members.
they're
Yes.
filled with light.
yeah.
Oh, look
There
at
you go. Thanks, Brad.
oh,
Thanks.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
I wanna
that
be
was our
helpful.
But that's the way I see it. Being, I don't know, just me being who I am. I mean, I think people embrace that.
Yeah,
Embrace that. I mean, there's a lot of people that enjoy my company, but at the
yeah.
same time, I know some a handful of people that don't. And
Don't like
that's
that.
okay. I
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Thank you for doing that because it creates more space for other
Yeah.
people of all different races and head sizes and everything. It really does. It really does.
Why are you looking like that, Joe?
What do you look at that small head? Small head, Joe.
That was our Dr. Phil moment.
Joe, you had your mouth open the whole time.
It's just an
But-
awe.
Yeah, that's
That's the first time you've opened up on the show.
well,
That's very
just
beautiful. We
mental
gotta
health.
ask James a
This
question.
is men's mental health awareness right now.
He's working on that now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely working on myself.
Do you do therapy at all or no?
No, I
Okay.
do self therapy more or less.
I meditate.
I meditate a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
I meditate a lot.
My therapist
Wow.
helps me do kind of self therapy. So like, I don't know, I'm not extracting what you're saying, but you kind of know the situations, know the challenges, know what you need to work on. But I find that doing that with someone else helps me to do it.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, I can see that as being a big focal point.
Yeah,
Some
like he
people's
asks
lives.
questions that helps me go through.
Right.
It. Yeah.
And sometimes I get that same thing. I have friends that ask me questions. I mean, like you just hit me with those questions.
Yeah.
It makes me think and open up my brain a lot more than be able to spew it out
Yeah.
and let them know how I'm feeling. So
Check out a therapist. There's some great therapists now and online. I'm like recommending therapy. I highly recommend therapy. I really, really do.
what about you, Joe? No.
Yeah. What about you? What's your biggest trauma that you're working on? Do you want to wear the skirt every day?
No,
Oh man. I was hoping there was some big, great non-binary story or something.
no.
You really,
It's
you
really
looking for that.
not.
Joe comes out live on the air as
That'll never happen. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
what's the biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge? Just getting over my hump of I will always admit it, I did have a DUI and I'm trying to get my license back, but it's just the state keeps fucking me over and now I'm just getting more not depressed about it. I'm just getting more pissed off and bitter and where I can't, like he was telling me one day
It's awful.
was I can't just drive anywhere and go
Yep.
to a festival or go to a different town and look at the town or drive up to Saugatuck or drive up to Holland or drive up to Traverse City and just go like
Now
he
it's coming
could.
out. There you go. There you go,
And
Joe.
yeah, so
You feel like a prisoner in that. My friend
I-
T is going through that.
I'm
so
not a
much.
prisoner.
Oh.
Because
Kind of are. Mentally, you are.
mentally I am because I can just hop on my nice big electric scooter that I bought. Thank you. And
It's very sexy. I saw it on the way.
Dude,
in.
the thing
That
is-
thing is
I was like, is
like
this the Mercedes scooter?
things a beast.
full of line.
70 miles per hour. 70,
What?
70
No.
miles.
He needs
yeah.
a helmet.
Do not go 70 miles an hour on a scooter.
He
Yes,
needs
I
a
do.
helmet.
That's dangerous.
I
No,
could,
he
I
doesn't
could.
have any helmet.
No,
I
only
could.
cool cousin Jack could handle
I
that.
could, yeah, actually.
That is a little
But,
airflow.
the
But,
hair
yeah.
is blowing in the
Oh, he
face.
doesn't have hair anymore.
This
though.
episode is brought to you by cousin Jack
Yeah.
on a scooter.
Yeah, he doesn't have hair anymore. But so it's just stuff like that. I'm just fighting my own demons on. And then if I find someone that I'm talking to,
Mhm.
I tell them my flaws.
Mm.
I tell them right away what my flaw is. And
For dating or friends?
dating,
Oh.
just dating. Friends don't care. Friends say, yeah, let's go out. Let's go
Does it make
drinking.
you feel undateable to have that?
A little bit, yeah. Because
Mm.
they're judging me. They're judging
That's
me
so
for who
wrong.
I am.
Yeah.
They're judging me for what I've done in my past. And
Well, what you've done and who you are, do you feel like is that like a part of your identity now? Like, do you feel like that's a fuck up because
around
you're a
here,
fuck
yeah.
up? You feel like you're a fuck up?
Oh no, me no, because I've already gone through all that, and I just now just wish I could just drive. But technically, I can drive. I just can't drive without a license if I really wanted to. But I don't do that because I don't want to spend 30 days in jail.
So, what kind of shame do you feel about that?
Shame? No shame. I have no shame on that one. I know what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong was wrong, and I'll never do that again.
Hmm.
And anything in like that in my life. But because I had shame because what my daughter went through because I had her full time and she was a senior in high school her last year. Actually, she just graduated. And then she said, I'm ashamed of you, Dad, because I technically what I did wrong. So that hit me right in the face. And so I'll never do that again. And yeah, so I know what I did wrong. I just like to have it back.
Well,
Wow.
you can't change that. You just got to fight through it. And
I'm fighting through it. I fight through it every year.
I'll tell you what,
It's rough.
it's
That's rough.
It's not going to be
especially
the end of you. I tell you that much.
We have a lot of people, a lot of our friends, mutual friends that
Yeah.
me and you have that took 6-7 years to get it back.
Yeah, years. Could
Yeah.
take years.
So Michigan's a harder state to get in. I mean, I could probably move out of state and fight for it there and probably get it back in a heartbeat. But
How long has it been?
3.
3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going on my third
That
year
could be
now.
a source of shame.
Going third year in my right now. And I don't ask for help. I don't ask for anything. In the winter, I walk to work. I say I'm doing my penance, walking to work and walking to Ace Hardware and just walking in the middle of winter and just bundled up.
I've been down that road too.
And I don't mind it. I mean, it makes me feel better for who I am and know what I'm doing done wrong.
Yeah.
So I know what I've done wrong. I just fighting the demons that people are like, you guys are judging you guys for what you guys are, and they're judging me for what I've done wrong in my past. And then it's not right. I mean, people are people. People do stuff, fucked up stuff. People do stuff. People come out. People are black. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People are people for nowhere. All matters, all shapes and forms.
Yeah, and it doesn't make you a bad person.
It doesn't make me a bad person. I still have a great heart. I'll give the shirt off my back for somebody.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for anybody. But yeah, it sucks for me because people are judging me for what I've done in my past. And that's why people ask me, what have you done in your past? I said, I don't like telling you people. I would like you to keep on talking to me and see where this could go.
Yeah, totally. Because then if you trust them, you can open up.
Then if once you get past the 6 months, then I'll tell you what happened. Then you can't judge me because you were already knee deep. So it's hard.
I think when people judge you, it's just like a small part of them that screw up in their lives.
That's true.
It's almost like a projecting something that happened in their lives or making fun of you doing something, but they also done something in return.
It's because they don't feel lovable themselves, right? And that's where the shame comes in of like spotting something in you that violates my norms. It's because I'm insecure about that.
I love for who I am. My grandfather, I'm the most chilled back, laid back person now for the last 4 years of my life because what my grandfather told me before he passed away. Never have any remorse, don't hold any grudges, and don't have any stress in your life. Doesn't matter how bad it is, don't have stress because anything can happen. Your life could change for the better the next day.
Yeah.
You never know. And because stress will kill you, it'll give you a heartache and they'll have a heart attack and you might die.
Yeah. And you know that you are loved and you are lovable with and without a license.
Yeah.
You are a good dad with and without a license. You know all that deep down, right?
People tell me that all the time. Yeah, I know who I am.
I feel it.
I feel it.
Okay.
I'm a great person. It's just I just don't like how people judge other people for different things.
I've always gone by this quote. So it goes like other people's opinion of you is none of your business.
Yeah.
I always say, love me, hate me, you'll never forget me.
Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. So
yeah, and that's universal.
Don't worry about what they're saying.
Love me, hate me, you'll never forget me.
Yeah. Well, they can't forget
it's
you.
True. It's hard to do though.
No, you won't forget somebody if you're really into somebody or really know that person and you find out something bad with them, you'll never forget them though. It's like the movie Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
I always say it like this. This guy was you ever seen the movie?
No.
You ever seen the movie Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
You can see it.
It's my homework.
Well, he's an Italian guy, and the young kid was running after this guy for $20. He says, "Why are you running after him for $20? That's the best way to get rid of somebody. You'll never run back into him because he's always going to run from you because he doesn't want to pay you back. So you just got rid of someone that's bad for you that does not want you in your life. So you don't need them."
Yeah, you eliminate the bad things of your life, the bad people that don't want to give you your flowers, or not even necessarily your flowers, but just don't give you that respect that you think you deserve.
Yeah.
And if they keep doing that, just cut ties.
Yeah.
Cut ties. I mean, they weren't meant to be in your life. They were passing through anyway.
Exactly. And you find the people, right? Because you find the people that you can be like, I went through this experience, or I'm struggling with this, or this was my past, and they don't push you away, right? So I think there's a universality.
No,
That sounds about right.
Like that.
Sounds
Yeah,
about right.
and
I
that
can't spell it no matter what, so it's okay.
universality. But I'm a professional communicator, I can't universality.
Still can't spell it.
Still can't spell it.
No.
So I think there's a universality in that, and living that authentic self and being able to share that with others and having you feel closer to people because of it, not despite of it.
Well, kindness goes a long way.
Mhm.
You know,
Top of the hour.
when you're kind to people, and what you put out into the universe always comes back to you.
Mhm.
You know,
Totally.
you have to pick and choose your battles. You don't have to fight every battle all the time.
I physically didn't believe in that until last 4 years.
Really, what you put out in the universe,
Yeah,
it comes back
what
to you.
actually what I've done in the past to friends and family and
Oh, yeah.
everything else
Oh,
in
yeah.
my life ever, actually not family, but more my friends in the past when I went to high school and college,
Mhm.
what I've done to them, it's coming full force to me
Back to you,
now.
yeah.
I think so now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bitch, but sometimes you have to
The
swallow
good
that
things
pill.
or the bad things?
Bad things.
Bad things?
Bad things.
Interesting.
And all-
Good things always happen to me, but
I mean, good or bad.
yeah, good things always happen because
Good or bad.
I'm a good guy.
You
I
put
mean,
that out there, it's going to come back tenfold.
like I just did today. This old lady was walking out of the Wickham, and she wasn't walking very well, and I helped her out, walking her to the corner. Then I walked her across the street, and I walked back by the Wickham and waved at all the old people that I like doing. So, I mean,
Aw.
I do all that stuff already, but or I hold the door for somebody when I see them struggling with a stroller or something, and I said, "I got this." I said, "No, I got it too." I said, "But it'd be better if you just had one extra hand that you can push."
Oh,
I mean, I do that already when
Yeah.
I see things, but
Nothing wrong with kindness
I do
going
that.
through the world.
I do that all the
Putting it
time.
out there, man. Put
we
it
need to
out there.
call Gretch. We need to be like, give this man his license back.
I know.
Start a
That's
petition.
the only person. That's the only.
Call Gretch.
That's only-
Gretch, if you're listening.
The
Jared
bad thing is
Benson,
that's the only person I haven't reached yet. But
It's a process, man. It's
Call
going to
Big
be a
Gretch.
process, dude. And it's an uphill battle because I know a guy didn't have his license for 10 years after 2
Yeah.
DUIs.
I got a friend that's dealing with
10
that too.
years.
don't tell me.
10,
that.
11 years. Yeah.
I'm sure
Don't tell me that.
how was your alcohol volume?
Don't ask me that.
Never mind.
I thought it was Ask Me Anything. Dad.
Don't ask me that.
Oh,
question.
you myself.
Don't ask me that question.
Joe,
Oh,
I'll get
man.
myself. This is for me right here.
I might get the boo again.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I like that one. Don't do it.
That's for me. That's for me. I shouldn't ask that question. I apologize.
Hey, top of the hour. Top of the hour.
All right, guys. So we're at the top of the hour. It's 9, well, after 9 now. We're at the Third Eye Truth Error podcast. I am James Gill, your host. This is Joe Gill.
Joe Gill, you guys just got married. Congratulations. It's Pride Month. Husband and husband.
And our special guest, Brad Gorman. Guys, don't forget, it is mental health month. You guys get out there, do something for yourself. Hang out with your friends. Get away from everything you're doing. Do something to make your mind settle and get back to normal. This is most important because, guys, we don't talk about our feelings a lot, and you should be getting out there, getting that out. Relax, decompress, meditate, take a walk, do something. Get out there and get in the open. Get your mind back to normal. All right, let's get back to the podcast, guys.
We do bigger like an old couple, though. That's what people
We
love.
do.
You kind of do.
That's fun.
It's like gay marriage without gay marriage.
That's fun.
we do.
Yeah.
That's why we're good brothers. So
Yep.
Aw,
It's a
Gill Hill.
common bond we have here.
yeah, that's why you always say it. That's what people come up to me for our podcast. But I like it how you guys bicker. I said thanks. He hates it though, but I like
Well,
it.
sometimes he just shut up. Sometimes
He doesn't like it, but I love it because I love pissing him off a little
It's
bit.
real. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
it's natural.
You
It's
big
natural.
dummy.
It's natural for us.
So get back to the show though. I do have one question though.
Okay.
Actually, I have a lot of questions.
Ask me anything.
Ask me that.
Well, that's like Pete Buttigieg is going on saying, "Ask me anything."
I know. I like that is bright. I didn't see how bright that was. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I liked it. Damn. For your family though, and then when you finally came out, when's the first time you introduced them to Trevor?
Well, I was already out for a long time.
Yeah,
when
but-
I got together with Trevor, but initially my
When you-
dating life went from like dating a guy in college that I would not let overlap with my straight life at all.
Yeah,
Like he
that's
was
what I'm saying.
completely secret, completely hidden. His name was Lucas, bless his heart. He's now married now with kids, but he was very important in my coming out process because I learned that I can be with a man and not feel shame about it. Right.
Yeah.
So shame is that like norm violation. So, doing stuff with him, I actually felt like, oh, I can be with someone and not feel shameful about it. But I still kind of hid him from people. And then when I moved to LA, I had a bunch of tumultuous relationships. And then coming back here, I had a guy that I dated named Cullen, and he was very, very fun, almost like a more vibrant young version of myself.
Yeah.
And I think he represented the LA version of me that was still partying a little bit too much. So we had a great relationship for a number of years. He met the family. you know, they were like, he seems a little immature, maybe a little youthful. And then by the time I met Trevor, I'd been out for like maybe 10 years at the time. So by the time Trevor came around, my whole family really liked him. And,
Yeah.
you know, he was finishing his PhD program in gender and women's studies and sexualities at U of M. So he had lots of good stuff to talk about at the time. And he's a sweet guy.
So the LA scene, was that more fast paced as far as dating and things of that nature?
It was wild. I
Yeah.
mean, I moved to LA. I almost dropped out of college to go to LA because of course, when you grow up in Southwest Michigan and you take one acting class, what do? You move to LA to become a professional
Right,
actor,
right.
right?
Right.
Who does that? So I did that. I thought I'm going to go to Hollywood and I'm going to be in the movies. Right.
Yeah.
You could catch me in the movie 13 for 1 second. Don't blink.
Really?
But obviously, it was not very successful. Yeah, I did some extra work in movies.
What's
Okay.
13?
It's a movie with Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were about two 13-year-old girls. But I thought I just wanted to kind of run away and make it big, and it was almost like a mental health challenge. I mean, also I was in my 20s, so I could either tell this one of either ways. Like I'm in my 20s, I always wanted to grow up and move to LA. Like I used to sit at Roxy's Hamburgers when I was going to St. Joe High School, and I used to play on the jukebox California Dreamin' because I used to dream about moving to
Or
California.
didn't you know somebody that worked there though?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Aaron and Sarah,
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Aaron and Sarah worked there. I would sit there and get my.
I was like, didn't you
Yeah,
know
but-
someone that worked there though?
It's true. Yeah, I knew, and they would get me free mozzarella sticks because I couldn't afford the $2.50. They were $2.50 for mozzarella, but they bring me my free mozzarella sticks. I play California Dream, and I would dream about moving to California.
Sarah.
To me, Sarah Watkins.
Oh, actually, we're having her on Wednesday.
I heard you're having Sarah
Yeah.
and Renee
Yeah,
different
yeah,
days.
yeah.
Oh my god!
On the same time, the same
Oh,
day.
you better have that pause button on quick or that switch microphone
Yeah.
switcher because they're going to be.
They're going back and forth.
I love those two. We go way back.
Yeah,
Oh man, I got Sarah and Renee stories I can tell you too.
Oh, well, I'll ask those in a little bit.
Ask them about Corey Feldman, about texting Corey Feldman from the bars.
I was going to ask you about that in a
Oh
little
my
bit.
god,
But-
that was another LA story. I
Oh yeah,
sold him
you
a
can tell.
vacuum.
He met Corey Feldman.
Really?
I sold him a vacuum, and then we kind of became fast friends for like a summer. It was really cool. He was a great guy.
Yeah, he has a picture with him while
Yeah.
they're drunk.
It was really cool. Yeah,
Nice.
I was selling a vacuum to him, and then I kept stopping by and hanging out, and we'd
What
always
kind of
like
vacuum?
drink. It was Kirby vacuum.
You sold Kirby
I sold Kirby
vacuums?
vacuums. Yeah, that job really sucked.
I bet it did. I bet it did.
Are they still around?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
100
it is.
years.
Really?
No, they were really good. So I was selling vacuums door to door,
Shit.
as actors do, right? You move to LA, you sell vacuums door to door to be celebrities. I sold to a couple other B celebrities too. You know, some actors and basketball players and people like that. But yeah, I was in LA, and LA, my thing with moving to LA was I just wanted to like be able to be comfortable being myself. What was going on underneath the surface?
Right.
I thought I need to get away from this small podunk St. Joseph, Benton Harbor, Michigan. They don't know what life is like. I need to move to LA and be with my people.
Yeah.
You know, there was an aspect of that, and then I found out, wow, wherever you go, there you are, because I moved there and I still had the internalized homophobia, which is fear of gay people, of myself, right? I still had the shame about my sex life. I still had the fear of HIV. I still had the fear of coming out to my mom. It was 2,200 miles away. So instead of dealing with that, I had big dreams of being on TV and movies, right? Because I thought, oh, as long as if I'm on a movie poster and I got my name on a movie poster, people will love me then.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter if my mom loves me or if the
So
church
you're
accepts
looking
me.
for validation.
I was looking for validation in
Yeah.
the wrong
Yeah.
places. Yeah.
Good
If
call,
I get
Jared.
on a TV show, if I get on a movie, I will be validated and I will be loved and lovable. You know, and then there's a whole fame thing, like you get the red carpet. And this was before like Instagram followers. It was
Oh, yeah.
like I wanted an IMDb page, I wanted to be on TV, I wanted to be in films. I did theater to do all that stuff. So I wanted that external validation. And then it was like LA, I don't know, it's not a great place to find love, but it's a great place to eventually figure out how to love yourself. And I found that, but it was a very circuitous process because there was a lot of drinking and a lot of drugs that kind of messed things up. But I'm grateful for what I experienced and what I went through to get to that process.
Yeah.
See, I'm the same way with all mine too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to crash and burn a little bit in
Yeah.
order to like crawl out of the
It's that
dumpster.
bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
come
why
back up,
that's
yeah.
why I've been clean from drugs for 24 years.
Good job,
That's
Joe.
amazing.
Good job.
All
Proud of
drugs.
you, brother.
All drugs.
Was there a deep, dark time before that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually no, there was no deep dark time, honestly. Say no. The hardest time was when I promised a person on her deathbed that I wouldn't touch any more drugs for the rest of my life because she was trying to keep me clean.
Wow.
And her passing away and getting hit on I-94 in the middle of December kind of hit me, and I promised her, and I haven't touched any more drugs for the rest of my life since then.
Wow.
I've been clean for 24 years.
That's
Good
amazing.
job, Joe.
And
Good
I'll admit, I was doing hard drugs. I was doing coke. So
Whoa.
yeah.
How did you deal with the trauma of that loss?
The loss, it was hard. I mean, it's still hard for me. She was my true love. She was my one I thought I was going to marry. I think that's
Wow.
why it's hard for me to admit to myself that I'm finally am admitting to myself that I rate her with everybody else.
Oh, wow.
So it's a standard.
She's the
that you
benchmark.
have.
She was a standard. I mean, it was like the Forrest Gump type of atmosphere where,
Aw.
Like Jenny.
yeah, but her name wasn't Jenny.
No, I
Oh,
understood.
I know.
Jenny.
But it was where we dated in high school a little bit, separated in high school, found each other after high school, and dated through college, and then she passed
That
away.
happened.
I mean,
So
it was
sad.
where we were 4 states away, actually, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Hilton Head,
Oh, wow.
where we're both on spring break our senior year. I'm with my grandmother, she's with her family, and we're at the same condominiums at the same time.
Fate.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. So then after that, she was dating somebody, but I was hanging out with the family, and this guy shows up, and kind of funny. I was kind of
Did you laugh at him?
actually I answered the door.
I
answered-
Scandal.
I
This is
answered the-
Real
I
Housewives.
did. I answered the door. He said, "Wait a minute, who are you?" I said, "Well, I'm Joe." He said,
And it was her husband.
"No, it was her boyfriend at the time because she was just dating the guy during high school
Okay,
because they were
gotcha.
seeing spring break." And he says, Joe, the Joe?" I went, "Yeah, you've heard of me, huh?"
Oh, that suspense is building up. All right. I
So,
love it.
so the funny part was we went through all that. Then I was leaving the next day anyways, and she was going to break up with him when they got back, and she did, and we were together ever since. So
Wow.
then she passed away in 2020.
Oh, wow.
No, 2000, not that 20,
2002?
2002, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, man,
wow.
this recently?
No, sorry, 2002. Yeah.
And you say
I'm just going back.
you stay away from the drugs in her honor.
Yeah.
But
I have.
That's
Ever-
amazing.
I promised her I wouldn't touch any more drugs for the rest of my life. And
That's amazing.
been clean, even off of pot. And pot's not a legal drug anymore. But
Right.
in my eyes, when I made that promise, it was a drug.
Good for you.
I still can't.
I don't think weed's a drug. It's a plant.
I know.
Okay,
So
it's just-
Yeah, plant medicine's going to be helpful.
So is coke.
It's processed.
It's processed, but it still
Yes.
comes from a plant.
Yeah, the extract.
You could do the loophole on that.
Yeah,
their
no.
ass.
No. It's mixed with other chemicals,
Yeah.
so it's a drug.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah.
So
I know.
there you
I
go.
Know, I know how they make
There
it.
you go, smarty pants.
I know how to make it.
Joseph's like, I got a heroin tree back here. It's a plant.
Yes. Got some
I
poppy.
have
back
I was gonna say I have
poppy,
poppy,
I got poppy plants in the back.
Don't go through this door right
Oh my
here.
gosh.
It's a special key.
Wild.
But yeah. So I went through that whole drama and everything else that
Mhm.
you're mentioning, and it was hard for the first 4 months because I was spending a lot on it. But
Yeah.
so my family already knew, and they're happy that I quit. Well, I think my mom knew. My dad didn't, but my dad never was really still married to this day, but wasn't really around and paying attention to me after I stopped playing sports.
Oh,
You play sports?
Fuck yeah, I did.
What sport?
Football, baseball, hockey, soccer.
Bam. All right.
he was a jock.
Mhm.
Do you have a tough relationship with your dad?
I always have been. Always
What's
will.
that like?
Fine. We bicker back and forth. We fight back and forth, but he doesn't like who I became because I became my grandfather that raised me.
Okay.
Oh,
And I was always
maybe some
around.
animosity
Yeah.
right there.
He always says
That, yeah.
he always says you're acting like your grandfather. Oh,
And he probably had resentments against his dad.
Yeah,
So that
exactly.
no,
passes
it's my
down.
mom's dad.
your
Oh.
mom's dad. So that was like his father-in-law.
His father-in-law.
Oh, interesting.
My father, my grandfather.
So like it's almost like a jab in a father's psyche. If you
Yeah.
think about it.
If you think about it,
Yeah, my son being more like my wife's dad instead of me.
Mhm.
Honestly,
So it can be like,
I really don't care. I'm the better guy that raised me. I'm the better person.
you shouldn't
That's
say
good.
that. You
Oh, I
shouldn't
can
say
say
that.
it, yeah.
No, you shouldn't say that.
Oh no, I will.
No, you ever talk to him about it?
My dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like it. He
Do
doesn't
you have
care.
empathy for his dad in that
I
scenario? Do
kind of do.
does.
I kind of do.
you
He
have
does.
kids?
Yes.
You put yourself in the dad scenario,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I can
Yeah.
understand that. I can see
That's real.
where that's going because he wants you to be more like him, but you
Yeah.
turn out to be like
Little too
his
late.
wife's dad.
Yeah, a little too late.
Oh,
I
okay.
find out everyone
Little too
has
late.
like
I'm
parental.
45 years old. Little too late on that.
Yeah.
one.
What is your
It sounds
therapist?
like you. No, it sounds like you're holding some
Oh
animosity too.
no, I'm more holding what he always tells me now. So
What does your therapist say about that?
none. I don't have a therapist. I have my meditation.
That's
I just
good.
talk about whoever I can talk to about. I really don't care. I can talk to about a complete stranger that's sitting next to me on a bench
Good.
and just blurt it out and get it off my chest. I feel a lot better, and I walk away. Thank you. And they
Thank
said,
you.
and they look at me and said, "You said a lot." And they
Oh, I love that. They send you an
But
invoice.
you also have to get some pushback too.
invoice.
Well,
Let's
he
all go
talked
to therapy. I know United Healthcare like send you an
he
invoice.
talked
Remember
to me
that person
about
on the
some
park
things,
bench?
I'm talking with him about.
he talked to me about
You
that.
guys are each other's therapist. I love it.
And
Unqualified.
I'll talk to him about my stuff too, and we can go back and forth.
It's hard for him to open up for me though.
Really?
Yeah, he's
He's got so many emotions
he's
though.
full-
You can see it in his
Yeah,
eyes.
he, it's his old age on that one.
Oh damn!
He's only like 5 years older than
Yeah,
you.
what are you talking about?
Grandpa James over here.
He's
Stoic.
no, he's set in his ways a little bit, just a
Oh,
little bit.
gotcha.
I think we all are to a degree,
I'm
but
I'm
some people
big-headed.
more than others.
I'm
My
just big-headed.
therapist breaks me down.
I'm
Oh
just
my
big
God.
headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he asks a lot of probing and reflexive questions. He's gonna make crying half the time.
Where do we get keep going back to this Dr. Phil stuff?
I don't know. Sorry.
That's
What
not.
were we talking? We were talking about LA stuff, right?
Yeah.
So LA was a big old party. I met Corey Feldman. I knocked on his door. Knocked on.
Did you really just
Is that okay?
That's
Sorry,
I
I'm
just
dramatic.
thought
I'm
it
a
was funny.
storyteller.
I thought it was funny.
No, sound effects are great.
I was with my friend Lewis, and he spoke Spanish. And the sign above the door said "Mi casa es su casa," and I was like, "Oh, they speak Spanish. You should do it." And he was like, "No, you do it. I'm bored." And so I knock on the door, and it's Corey Feldman. He answers the door, and I ended up selling him a vacuum. And he had just had a baby, so he needed the vacuum to keep his house really clean with the Kirby way. And then he had just been with his wife Susie, and they were just on a big reality show, and he was starting his band stuff. And anyway, so I kept
He's
going
in a
back.
band?
Yeah, he's in a band. He does really interesting, bizarre music.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really, you can see like Michael Jackson
Yeah.
influence in it, but it's very rocker. It's unique. It's a unique flavor for people. But anyway, he was really cool. And we stayed in touch, and I would always go over there and drink Michelob Ultras on his porch. And then I moved when I was back here for the summer. I would text him back and forth. So anyway, Sarah and Renee we'd be at the boathouse down there, and they'd be like, drunk. It'd be 1:00 in the morning, which was 10 in LA. So they'd be like, "Oh my God, call Corey, call Corey." So I'd call him or text him, and he was married at the time, but anyway, he'd be like, "Send me pictures of your girlfriends," and it was fun. It was a very fun time. The whole LA experience.
You ever
was
try to
a lot.
talk to him again?
No, we haven't talked in a long time. It's been about 20 years. So
Do you feel like you are in a different era of your life because of it?
yeah, I don't talk to a lot of LA people. And let's be real, he was not one of my top 10 friends in LA. He was like an acquaintance that I hung out with for like a summer. But all of the LA experience was me trying to come out and love myself and seeking out different ways to get there. Right. So I went to gay bars. I was going to warehouse parties. I was doing all this stuff. I was selling vacuums. I was in the acting thing. I did a lot of cool theater. I did a Shakespeare play. I was an extra in movies. But it was all places where I wanted to feel loved by others instead of working on myself.
Yeah.
So hitting rock bottom with alcohol plus a lot of other substances got me to this place where I was like pretty much like I was really bad. Like the types of substances and the way I was ingesting them was pretty close to like deadly. And so by the time I had to stop everything, like I went to rehab for 30 days and really had to like rebuild myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to get back from that place.
Yeah.
So there's a few friends in LA from LA that I speak with that kind of wrote it out through the whole thing. But when I was really unmanageable out there, I wasn't a fun person to be around. I wasn't the nice, friendly, like Roxy's Brad or the Billboard Brad that people know from here. Like I was like a whole different.
So there's a whole different monster that you.
It was a
only
monster.
in
Yeah.
LA.
It was the monster of addiction and alcoholism. I mean, everybody knows somebody that's dealt with it, but it kind of like makes you, I don't know, it's just like it's a demon. it just takes you to some really bad places. And then just my mental health was just all over the place. The ego inferiority stuff. Nobody gets me. Nobody understands me. I'm so different. I was very,
So how did you tame your ego?
well, I'm still working on that this
Yeah.
many years later. I will say the 12-step recovery stuff does a really, really great job of, not to promote any programs because I know it's anonymous, but it's literally like when you walk into those rooms, it's like I am powerless, and you kind of throw your hands up and surrender and say, I can't figure this out on my own. I need someone else to help me with that. And then eventually that something else becomes a concept of a higher power that can be whatever you believe, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, a can of sparkling water, whatever. But that helped humble me a lot. And also when you're like, you can't remember your own phone number and you weigh like 130 pounds, you have no friends, you've burnt people out from staying on their couches and promised them you wouldn't relapse, and then you did, and nobody wants you, and you have to move back in with your mom and get an hourly job. That humbles you a lot too.
Oh, yeah. That's the rock
So-
bottom we were talking about.
When
Yeah.
you moved back here, where'd you work at?
I had what I like to call my recovery jobs.
Yeah.
So oh my God, I had just been the commencement speaker a couple years before at college, and I thought I was hot shit. And I had just graduated with this great communications PR degree and everything. And then I moved back here and I was so messed up. I was like, I will just do anything to just make it by, because I needed structure in my life and I needed to get my memory back and my back on my feet, pay my bills, get a car.
Just to be you.
Yeah, just to be me. And so I started the YWCA in downtown St. Joe.
Yeah.
Those were recovery jobs. And I was wiping off the gym equipment, answering the phones there. And then I also worked at Nextel for a little bit. There was an old Nextel place in downtown St. Joe. And
Hey, I miss those Nextel phones.
oh my
No
God, the
offense.
chirp was great.
Yes, I miss those.
And so I had those recovery jobs. And then when I was at YWCA making hourly, wiping sweat off gym equipment, I got a call from someone and she was like, "Oh, I'm looking for a flexible membership because I'm a recruiter for Whirlpool." And I was like, "No way." So I talked to her and then I got in at Whirlpool and just moved my way up over there.
You started the
years.
KitchenAid. didn't you?
No, I spent 4 years as the global communication lead for KitchenAid, which was like really a dream job. And that was like mature in my career. But that was the best job I could ever imagine. It literally took me around the world. I went from Sydney, Australia to Brussels, Belgium to like 100-year anniversary parties in New York and Chicago.
He went to Dubai.
To where?
Dubai.
Oh, Dubai, yeah.
Oh, Dubai. I went to Dubai.
He went to
What did you
Dubai.
say?
Yeah. He went to Dubai.
I went to everywhere
He
except
went to
Dubai.
Dubai.
But it literally, I mean, that job took me around the world. I'm so grateful for those
Yeah.
experiences. It was really, really amazing. But I started out, I worked my way up. I mean, literally, I think my first salary there was like, I don't know, 35,000 a year. And I was very entry level with the call center doing, all the communication at the call center. And then I worked my way up to be, leading business unit communications.
Actually, what you've done is amazing. Of all the steps you took in your life, I give you credit. Yes.
Thank you.
Even working, even working at
That's a big
Whirlpool-
turnaround.
Even working at Whirlpool, that is beyond where you started out. No one can really say that now because they do such a big turnaround after 6 months. They just lay you off.
Yeah.
So you can't get unemployment. So you can't get anything. And then they said, we'll call you back, but they really don't call you back. But
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
it's tough now.
That's
You got out. You got out when you did. It was right.
Yeah.
You definitely made a big turnaround. Wow, from just like being at the bottom
Yeah.
of what we call life, and then working your way back up. You did a hell of a
Thank you.
job. One hell of a
Yeah.
job.
Wow.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm in that process a little
Why
bit.
do you think that though?
Why do you think I'm still in that process?
Yeah, because you have a great humble person that is your support beam that's with you.
Yeah, that's my relationship.
Yeah, but you still have that backbone. You have everything that you have in your life. But
Yeah.
why do you still think you have to climb out of that hole?
Well, I don't know if it's a continue I don't know, maybe self-identity or belonging reflection, but I've had a great relationship. And I also when I was at the top of my game at Whirlpool, talking to the CEO about how we were positioning inclusion and, walking Gretchen around the
Good old Jeff.
Governor Whitmer. Yeah, walking Governor Whitmer around the facilities for racial
you did?
equality pledges and things that we did with dedications of buildings and all the cool stuff that I got to do there, leading, flying on the corporate jet. I felt very, but at some point, it doesn't really complete you or make you feel whole or complete, because then when that's taken away, it's or when that leaves, you kind of, I don't know. I've been on this ebb and flow thing, but like I'm really working on just being
So you're
like
getting rid of the superficial things.
getting rid of
Yeah.
the superficial things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm human being more and less human doing.
Yeah.
Because I thought my doing would make me feel good, right? So it's not very dissimilar. It's just a more mature model of it. But when I wanted to go be in the movies in LA, I wanted people to love me and like me. And then also in corporate America, you can get a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
So you can get a lot of, I've got this title, I report to the CEO, I've got this budget, I've got this many people working for me. I want to be somebody, right? But it's like that's not really healthy. That's more human doing. So I'm just working on being, and like just like, if you feel like, oh, if I have a license, I don't have a license, I'm still like loved and lovable and capable. I feel like I have those same things with like, if I do this or don't do this, I'm still me, and I've still got value
Yeah.
to give the world, whether I have a great job or not, a great title, a great salary, a relationship or not. Like I'm still kind of navigating that all the time.
I understand that because
Yeah.
how you just said that, I'm in kind of the same boat where I know where everything I'm at. I just can't have the one thing where I just can't just go somewhere. I just can't just physically.
Saluting you.
I just can't go
Yeah, you can't travel somewhere.
I
Yeah.
can't travel where or go with somewhere and say, "Hey, I'm gonna come pick your ass up. Get in, bitches.
Get in, bitches. Yeah.
and let's go." And I just can't do that. I say, "Hey, bitches, pick me up and we'll go somewhere."
Dude, I did that for 10 years.
I know.
10 years straight.
And it just
Without
sucks.
being out
And
there.
I'm trying to get this man out more on the weekends when I have off, so
Come on
he can
out.
so he can see these places that we're getting,
Oh,
or the
yeah.
places that
Yeah, that's fine.
we're
That's
getting
all
out.
fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But
But
am I really in in a hurry to go see those places? Maybe.
but
But and then
Maybe one
not.
a month.
One, yeah. You don't have to
I'm
push.
warming up to it. I'm warming up to it. We
I'm
finally went out
open to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah.
open to it.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not what I think is going to complete me.
Right.
He's an introvert.
He's an introvert. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can turn on the extroversion.
Yeah, I can turn it on when I want to,
He can turn on when he's at his job.
when I need to. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that feeling complete, it comes from within, right? It's
Yeah.
a within journey. So I'm working less on the outside things and more on the inside things, like even little things of how I dress, what I post on social media. It's less for like other people's approval and more just like wanting to just be.
Yeah.
And exist. And I value other things too. Am I getting too
No,
woo-woo?
you brought this up. I had to call you out on it.
What?
What's with the hot pink fishnet thingy that you wore the other day? That you posted.
I'm being so humble on social media. He's like, why are you in hot pink fishnets?
Yes. Is it fishnets though?
It probably was.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the post, but it was probably, was I hanging off the side of a boat? Yeah, that was me during June Pride for a boat parade.
I went.
You guys, I'm so humble and
I went
authentic on
damn
social
right.
media that I wear fishnets from head to toe,
And
post
the-
pictures about it.
no,
And
the
as a
funny-
44-year-old man.
And the funny thing is, I thought he was drunk through all this, and he's doing this sober.
Yes.
You're awesome.
I love that. Thank
Yes.
you. I take that as a high form of compliment.
I do too.
Because people are like, you're having so much fun. You're out, you're closing down bars, you're going to raves, you're going to dance parties, and you're doing that sober. And I'm like, yeah.
The funny thing is, I
kind
can
of
do
the
the
way-
same thing if I really wanted to, but I choose not to. But
Yeah.
I
Just
can.
me and cacao.
It's awesome because I did 40 days for Lent.
Hmm.
I did alcohol this year. It was
You
great.
gave up alcohol for 40 days.
Yeah, it
Did
was
you
great.
sell it fun?
I did. I went out every weekend.
Yeah.
I had fun. Everybody looking at me. Why you look so pissed? I said, I'm not pissed. I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
Aw.
I'm
Dr.
still,
Pepper.
yeah, I had my Dr. Pepper, still having fun and still having a good time because when I DJ'd, I really didn't
I
drink
love
when I
that.
DJ'd. I drink my Mountain Dew. I might do a shot here and there if someone really wanted to buy me a shot, but I really didn't want to drink because I need to focus on the fucking music.
Yeah.
But I didn't drink when I DJ'd.
I will say though, with that silly picture, I do find kind of joy in authentic self-expression. So sometimes when I post shit out there on, I'm less like debating about, I don't know, whatever the latest LGBT topic
awesome.
is.
It's awesome.
Or whatever. Yeah, it's more like authenticity, right? I want that to shine from inside. And then also like, I feel like I value different things. Like instead of like going to the greatest pride party, like I value like family dinner with my mom, or I value like time with my godson. Like I just, I get to do so much amazing stuff with him, and he's 10, he's going into middle school next
Your
year.
godson's cute.
Yeah. And like in my 20s, I just wanted to like go to the biggest party and have the coolest, whatever Instagram story in the best country or whatever. It was extrinsic. And now it's more intrinsic where it's like, wow, I've shifted like gears on what I enjoy.
To go with the picture though, and something that
That must have been a hot
Said I had to
picture.
call you out.
He's got it
I did.
saved. He got
No.
a screenshot of it. Did my
Nah.
legs good look good?
oh no, I didn't see your legs on that one. I was
I can send you my leg. Am I allowed to flirt on the podcast?
You
Yeah,
can,
you-
as long
you
as you
can- it's okay. Actually,
He's
I,
so adorable.
I love actually when a gay guy flirts with me, because my cousin always told me, he always said if a gay guy flirts with you, he's flirting with another cute guy. He thinks
That's
you're
true.
cute. So if a gay guy flirts with you, he thinks you're good looking. I went, huh. He says that does boost your ego. I went,
That's
I
true.
never really thought about
I'm
that.
gonna airdrop you all my leg pictures. You're
So
gonna have like
I never
hairy
really-
leg pics.
I
all-
never really thought about that, but I don't like hairy legs. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll shave them for you.
there you go. Rack and adjust.
Yeah,
So
but
what did you
I
notice
love it.
about that picture?
No, the picture was how you said it. You did everything about right now. Like I'm gonna repeat it, but you're sober through all your pics. So every single pic that you do post, even on from now to here out, if it's very outrageous pictures, you're doing it sober. I think that's fucking fantastic. I
Thank
do.
you.
I do. I didn't know that.
That's you of being sober for that long too, man.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
takes a lot of willpower.
Yeah, it's 19 and a half years, and it's also today.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
do this
congrats.
whole ODAT thing, right? It's like one day at a time. And that helps keep me humble too.
Yeah.
Congrats if it's today.
Yeah, today. Yeah. So
congrats.
like
I'll cheers to you. I'm drinking.
yay, cheers. But it's like, you know, we do this one day at a time thing to help keep us humble too,
Yeah.
because I don't want to think I'm some like sober guru on a mountain that figured out how to like not drink or use drugs for 20 years, because that sounds very like interesting. But if I'm like, oh, I'm not drinking or using drugs today, I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. I've
Yeah.
been doing that for 19 and a half years.
What was your drink of choice though? If you had
Crystal meth?
I think drink of choice.
Like crystal meth.
No, it really was. I kind of tried to avoid saying it, but you know, I'm not working for a Fortune 25 company right now. So yeah, it was crystal meth.
Yeah.
That was my drink of choice.
Drink of choice.
It was ABC.
Yeah.
Alcohol becomes crystal for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I drank a lot. I drank, I mean, my drink of choice was more, whatever you've got. I drank a lot, but also like the crystal meth supercharged my drinking. And so when I tried to go back to just drinking,
So
it was really, really unmanageable.
Yeah.
on the 19 years when you weren't sober, when you came back home for Christmas or Thanksgiving, how did you hide it?
Ooh, that last one was so bad.
Yeah, how'd you hide it though? I mean, that's hard to hide,
Well,
especially that.
the last time I came back for Christmas, I actually had, this was, I remember this was, oh no, was it after 9? Yeah, it must have been after 9/11. But anyway, I had some in my pocket and I flew across the country from LA.
Within your pocket?
Crystal.
Wow.
Because I felt like I could not be away from it for that long. And it just needed it as a security blanket.
Yeah.
So it was really bad. And then what happened was I would get here, bless her heart, my friend Aaron dealt with me for so long. And I would get so outrageously drunk. And I'd try to fight guys. Can you imagine me trying to fight someone? In what universe? I would get so outrageously
universe.
blackout drunk. I think I was flirting, actually. This is so embarrassing to say. But if I was totally blackout drunk, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? I'm gonna fight you. But that would be me flirting.
Yeah.
That's how fucked up my brain was. But anyway, it was just really, really awful. And I would get really, really blackout drunk to avoid, like, my body was like, give me meth. And it was alcohol was the only thing that was there. So I would just shove that down. It
Wow.
was rough. My dad was an alcoholic, so I kind of had some genetics, I think,
Yeah.
involved too.
You think that's genetics though? You think alcoholism is genetic?
I think there's a genetic predisposition for it, but I think environment and exposure and trauma can help activate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
never thought about
Never
that
thought
way.
about it that way.
I never
either,
thought
yeah.
about that way. That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah, I
way-
think my
that's
dad.
a good way to think about it.
Yeah, I had a lot of family stuff that kind of helped shape that as well.
Wow. Huh.
A lot of build up.
Yeah, totally.
Push you to that direction of hey, I need a drink. I need
Yeah,
more than
I just
a
wanted to
drink.
check out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have another question. Totally off the subject though.
Go ahead.
sure.
So when you finally came out to your family, and how did your brother take it?
My brother,
I just thought about that. Sorry.
Question.
my brother just knows me very well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only a couple years older. He just knows. So I think he knew that it was in a closet and was like, eventually he will come out. And we're very good friends. Like now we could go to Saugatuck for the weekend together or things like that.
I think Saugatuck.
It's a great town,
Yeah.
yeah, super gay friendly. But I think at the time, oh, we weren't really just very close, but he was kind of like, I already knew. But I will say when I went to rehab in California, I kept it a secret from my entire family. And I said, I'm going to a meditation retreat for 30 days. I'm going to be unavailable from my phone. And the day that I said that, my brother calls my cell phone and leaves me a message. And he said, hey, let me know how rehab is. I'm like, he's got me.
Yeah.
So he knew. He knew what I was
Well,
struggling with.
siblings tend to catch on to things like that.
Yeah, he knew. He knew that I was gay in the closet. He knew about my drinking and my problems.
How'd your sister take it?
My sister and I have been very, very, very close.
Because
And
you're more closer to your sister probably because of
historically, yeah. Till that bitch moved to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Just a couple months ago, and I miss her. And I
Yeah.
hang out with my brother now, my grumpy brother now. But no resentments.
There you
The
go.
white light,
There you go.
the third eye. Okay.
Yes.
I love you. I love your sister too.
She's so sweet. I love my sister so much. We've been very close. I felt like kind of a mentor to her. And she went through a rough patch with substances too. But anyway, after I first got sober, she was a big, big help in that process.
Okay.
So both my coming out process and my sobriety process, she was really nice because actually when I was getting out of rehab and I couldn't stop using and drinking out in LA, my sister and my friend Erin split the cost of a plane ticket to get me to come back here to Michigan. And at the time in LA, I was so out of my mind that I didn't really know up from down. And so they had a friend take me to the airport, and I thought I was coming for a week to Michigan. And this was when we had like printed out tickets, right? So
Yeah.
I'm on the way to the airport and I'm looking at the ticket
It says one way.
and I'm like,
I'm not going back.
when's the return flight? And by that time I was already pulled up to LAX and on the plane. And so they had got me a one-way ticket back to Michigan to come back here, stay alive and get my shit together. And I'm very, very grateful because,
Yes.
I
Yes.
have friends in rehab that, I hear about their funeral or they relapse and jump off a
Really?
building or they commit suicide. And so I'm very, very grateful that they were there to support me through that process. My sister was so helpful. I stayed for her with her for a week before I went to see my mom because I was so beat up looking. I just wanted to like be a little bit more human before I went to see my mom. So I stayed with my sister. She's sweet. And also like she's been on her own journey with dating and who she's attracted to and orientation and identity as well. So that's been really cool too to see how she's handled that.
How's she handling it?
She's great. She's dating a woman now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. And also she's taught me a lot about identity and expression to where, we have these buckets and these categories. We got
Yeah.
LGBTQIA plus.
What?
We're taking the whole alphabet.
I,
You guys, we got 7 letters. We're coming for all 26.
you know what? I was looking at.
We're coming for all 26, except for M and Z. Those are straight letters.
I'm a little confused. I was looking at just before we came in the podcast. I was looking online for the pride flag.
Yeah.
There's 6 more colors on there and a
There's
circle.
more. Yeah.
What's that all about?
Intersex. Are you erasing intersex people?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. I'm not, I was
Wait,
I'm just
confused
kidding.
about it.
I'm trying to figure out why not those letters? M and what? Z?
M and Z. Because
Why not Z?
they're straight.
What's Z?
I can't explain it. They just are. They're straight.
I can understand
Yeah,
M.
I'm a little confused.
I don't know. They're straight. Look at the letters. They look straight. They bullied me in high school. I don't know.
You made that.
I have no idea.
M kind of made sense to me a little bit,
Look at
but
the letters.
Z didn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, because hey, I was confused.
You're convinced on the Z. I understood the M
I
one,
was like,
but
yeah, it does. It is. Damn it.
I was like more puzzled on the Z.
Straight but not narrow.
Z? Why? No, that doesn't make sense. There's no Z in there.
Where were we?
Yeah.
Oh, why? Oh,
We were
the
somewhere in the
colors.
alphabet.
Yeah.
Oh, the colors rainbow flag. Yeah. So okay.
Now, what did the black, brown, so lighter blue, white.
Hold on.
And,
Let me tell you the whole
Okay,
backstory.
go ahead.
In 1976, a man by the name of Gilbert constructed the first LGBT pride flag in San Francisco. So anyway,
I don't know what to believe
Pride-
or not now.
Pride Parade. I know this is not the MNC joke. This is the real history of Pride. Okay. In
Just listen and learn something
1969,
new.
there was a Stonewall riot,
Yeah.
which sparked the start of the modern day gay liberation movement. Right? You think about
What
like,
year?
Black drag queens, 1969.
Okay.
So you think about like Black queer queens and non-binary folks like throwing
Oh,
bricks and everything
yeah.
like that. That's the whole Stonewall riots. A few years later, Gilbert in San Francisco made the first pride flag, and all of the colors in the flag represented different like themes, right? There was like love, acceptance, sex, passion, spirituality, all
Okay.
those different things. That was the original pride flag, and you still see that today.
Right.
Yeah. I seen it. Yeah.
There's been different evolutions of that. So a couple years ago in Philadelphia, there was this discovery of intersectionality and representation with Black and brown communities, right? So you've got racism, you've got homophobia. There's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
And also, like, Black and brown folks in the queer community have led a lot of the movement, right? So even you think of like gay culture, and this is like me off the record a little bit, but even like gay culture and queer language, like a lot of the language that gay folks speak and drag queens and everything like that, it's stolen from the Black community,
I love drag queens.
right? So there's a lot of overlap there. Oh, you think about New York City and like the drag and ballroom culture,
Yes.
it was very
Yeah.
Black influence,
Yeah.
and then it went to the gay community and kind of transferred out.
Okay.
So anyway, with the overlap, there's a lot of overlap between Black and queer communities. And so in Philadelphia, for Philadelphia Pride, I believe it was like 2007, there's an activist that added the Black and the brown stripe to the pride flag and thought this is an intersectional thing, right? So racial equity, LGBTQ equality. So then a guy by the name of Daniel Quasar, a couple of years later, made the intersectional pride flag. Have you ever seen the pride flag with a little triangle on it?
Yeah.
So that's the intersectional pride flag. And those stripes were added for people living with HIV and for the trans community.
Okay.
So it's still got the Black and brown, and it was added to say, hey, we really need to raise the voice of the trans community and people living with HIV as a huge part of our movement. And then more recently, we've added a little thing for intersex because that's often erased and often forgotten in the community. So it's just been this expansive umbrella that keeps making sure everyone is included. And there's been many different iterations of the pride flag. Of course, if you have a rainbow pride flag out on the front of your house, or if you have the intersectional pride flag, nobody's going to be like, oh my God, they're such a hater. So there's many different ones to choose from. You can
okay.
choose whichever one resonates with you, but that's sort of the simplified evolution of the pride flag.
Did not know that. Now I'm not confused.
Are you more confused or
No,
less
no.
confused? Okay, good.
Actually, that helped.
It's
a lot.
it
Okay.
helped me out because like I said, I was like, man, this is weird. It's being different colors now.
Yeah, we come up
Added
with new
more
colors.
Yeah, added more colors to it.
So
I
each
think
one
it's
has a
awesome.
special meaning. Also, think of it like, when the country's flag, like you added more stars as you added more
exactly.
states. It's kind of like that.
I was thinking the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's the same queer community, but it's just a broader umbrella. And people that get marginalized or left out. I mean, look what's happening with the trans community. You got a lot of intersectionality, and if you're not intentional with it, you can punch down on the most marginalized community.
You need to start getting vowels in there, though.
vowels.
Yeah, because I keep messing it up.
They keep adding
Wait,
consonants.
vowels like in LGBTQ?
Yeah.
Legibitiquois.
There you go.
You can just say it the French way, Joe. Just say legibitiquois.
Legibitiquois.
You still say it wrong.
Happy Pride Month to all the legibitiquois.
Legibitiquois. Are you laughing?
That's advanced. QQIA plus. That's QQIA.
I always
plus.
miss a letter
Put
or
your tongue around a little bit.
Legibitiquois.
Just remember lettuce, guac, bacon, tomato.
What?
Lettuce, guac, bacon, tomato. It's the
Okay,
pride sandwich.
I'll still fuck it up.
Also remember lesbian
Lettuce,
ladies
guac,
first.
Bacon,
Wait a minute.
tomato.
How did I say that?
Lesbian ladies first. LGBT. That's why.
Lesbian.
The lesbians. I mean, come on, iconic.
Yeah.
Speaking of identity too, I think we jumped to this topic because my sister has taught me a lot about identity and expression, because although we have all of these great categories and labels and flags and everything, they're for everyone, but not everyone identifies with one of those, right? So she's dating a woman now, she's dated men, she's dated women. She doesn't necessarily identify. And we've had a lot of discussions about what her, term is or whatever. She doesn't really select one.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that now. Whereas before I was like, you have to be this, you have to be this. Guys that I have had relations with.
But wouldn't that be bi then?
Some people might describe that as bi. Some might describe it as pansexual.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
might describe that as the one where you're intellectually attracted to someone. I forget the term even. But like sexual orientation, gender identity is a whole beautiful spectrum and a beautiful umbrella. And there's also a lot more, like you find a lot more men have had sex with men that don't necessarily identify as gay. So, if you need to have one of those experiences, call me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Why did actually my ex-girlfriend my
Call
ex
me 1-900. This is the late night pod.
my ex
1-900 straights for gays.
my ex-girlfriend said a straight man's always 80% always thinking about getting his dick sucked by a guy?
I have a friend, but I won't even name his name, but he told me some similar things
Yeah.
that way, because he's on the dating sites, and a lot of these guys are so-called straight men, married men,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that will come to his house and not tell him about this
Oh yeah.
until somebody else confronts him about it.
That he won't tell his spouse.
His spouse, yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
He's on the
the
DL.
person's spouse finds out about it, and then
Yeah.
they confront him about it.
But it's still, I mean, that's what my ex-girlfriend said, because she got it from the HR where she worked at, and the HR where he worked at, he was gay, and he even said, I've done that more straight married men than anybody in my
God.
life.
HR was talking about sucking dick. Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
No, there's a much more broad umbrella. People are a lot more
Yeah.
aware of the umbrella. There's new terms for people that are under that umbrella.
Yeah.
And then there's
oh damn it, we're gonna learn no more terms.
there's more terms, but just remember that it's a whole broad spectrum,
Damn it,
right?
it's no more
Lettuce,
terms.
Orientation,
guac, bacon, tomato.
lettuce, guac, bacon, tomato,
I'm
LGBT,
not gonna remember.
LGBTQ. But yeah, there's
LGBTQ.
and there's room and there's space for everyone. And my husband has a podcast about sex. It's called The Best Gay Sex. And it's very expansive, and it's called The Best Gay Sex, but there's actually straight people and lesbians that listen to it because it's very expansive as an umbrella.
Yeah.
Because people finding their best sex life and their best orientation and expression can apply to anyone. And I think sex is a wonderful way to connect with people. So
And that's supposed to
Actually,
be.
is.
It's supposed to be that way.
exactly. It's beautiful, it's loving, it's
Yeah.
connected. It shouldn't be shameful.
Right.
My eyes is always in a relationship. You got to have the sexual atmosphere. And that's going down from cuddling with somebody on the couch, kissing, touching, everything else to sex. But if you don't have that great in a relationship, you're never going to get the trust, the respect, the communication. All that leads back, because if you don't have that sexual stuff,
Yeah.
you're going to lose the respect, you're going to lose the trust, and you're not going to have the communication. And then it goes on breaking up or divorce.
So you find a parallel between the intimacy and the trust in the relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I find that I also find it flipped and inverse for me. So in a lot of gay relationships as well, there's a lot of openness sexually too. And so I think the same thing. Yes, those are connected, but I think it starts for me with the foundation of trust, right? You've got that trust, that authenticity, that believing in one another.
Well, that I kind of believe where you're coming from on your aspect. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I really see that. Yeah.
And
I
then
see
having
that.
the openness to want the
Because-
best sex for yourself and for your partner.
Because you got to trust that person that you're with, that they're not going to do anything or
have to have that.
anything in your
Well, that's
life.
what
Yeah.
trust- that's
so
where the
yeah.
trust comes in.
Yeah. That's where
You
the
have to have
trust
that
comes in. Yeah,
foundation.
You got to have.
But what if it
foundation.
was different?
That's
Because
awesome.
for some couples,
That's awesome.
you have that foundation and then you trust that they will do that
Yeah.
and will still love you, right? Because there's a lot, like, I mean, half of gay relationships, I believe, are open. That's a statistic somewhere. But sometimes it starts with that foundation of trust. Like, what better trust could you have for your partner to be like, yeah, go have this wonderful experience with someone, come back, tell me about it, be honest about it, be safe, do whatever guardrails we have in place. But that's a deep foundation of trust.
Yes.
To have
it
that
is.
kind of open
yeah.
relationship with someone that you love, someone that you're married to, as opposed to the stuff that we talked about before, where it's like you're doing stuff on the side, you're lying, you're secretly on apps. Like, I think the trust is a foundation across all
Yes.
types of relationships.
Yeah, I think that's in every single relationship. If the guy, like they always say, if the guy takes his phone to the bathroom, don't need to trust him. I'm thinking maybe he just wants to read shit or play games when he's on the toilet. But
Yeah, what if he's playing Wordle?
I'm thinking that. But if he puts his phone down and doesn't trust you next to it or anything like that, then all of a sudden he comes back and grabs his phone because he's going to the bathroom. Yeah, don't trust the jackass.
Yeah,
And
Trevor and I have a very
well,
trusting phone.
yeah.
And that's the thing with social media today. Everybody's on it. Everybody's doing it and wants to be noticed.
Mhm.
So that's the validation that everybody needs. It sets off a chemical in your brain to
Yeah,
feel like if you get that if you get somebody that comments on your
it can be very addictive.
yeah, very addictive.
You know, most of my comments or most of my posts is this or a quote that I find that I like.
Yeah, that relates to you.
It relates to me or it relates to something
Somebody
that I know it relates to somebody else or something that I like. They're mostly Buddhist quotes
Yeah.
that
I
I
love that.
I love.
Yeah.
And that's all I post lately. Or a picture of a sunset lately. But I'm getting really going down to the beach.
But a lot of people go to to social media, whether it's dating apps,
Yeah.
Facebook, whatever the case may be, to find that validation that they don't have for themselves.
Yeah. For that external validation.
And that's the downfall of some people especially in this country. That's the downfall of people
Well,
and relationships.
Well,
Yeah.
even in a relationship, no one can really go up to somebody anymore and approach them and say, "Hey, you're beautiful. Can I have your number?"
People get weirded out by that.
No, it's not that. That is, they're afraid what the reaction is going to be, or they're thinking they're going
Or
to judge them.
being denied.
Not denied part is that, oh, look at this jackass coming and approaching me, thinks I'm beautiful, or this guy's approaching me, thinks I'm gorgeous, or why is he approaching me? Or now, or women are only there at the bar, because I went to a big city one time, and I love people watching. Before I do anything, I sit at the bar and people watch.
Yeah.
So you buy him a drink, and then you buy her a drink, and then I watch how you reacted to him or her, vice versa. It's funny to watch, because then I find out from the bartender that's all she's here for is just free drinks. So you don't know who's there for a free
Yeah.
drink or not for a free drink.
I like social media to a degree. I just don't like what it's made people become.
Yeah.
Oh, I give you that.
You know, self-centered, egotistical, kind of just mean.
More mean.
Yeah. I do less debating on social media.
Yeah.
I'm able to kind of lift up out of myself and see different perspectives, but I also use it just to like try to like spread a little love and joy and levity.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
I
debate.
do the same thing. Like
social
today,
media.
I put the men's mental health.
That's
month.
great.
He
That
did,
out there.
actually.
I did that. I mean, salute to all the men out there that they can't speak out loud.
Yeah.
Or don't speak out loud.
Totally. And you've got a voice and a platform for that.
and
Yeah, he sounds like the Allstate guy.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
He
No
does
problem.
have a voice for it.
Yeah, sounds like the Allstate guy.
All right, guys, we're at the 5-minute mark. Let's
Wait.
do some.
There you go.
What?
Wait, before that's him and Corey.
Oh, that's me and Corey.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I told
That was in this house. You can actually see the
That's
handle on the
cool.
Kirby vacuum that I sold him right in the front of that
That's
picture.
cool as
too.
hell, man.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
And he's had some tough times in his life.
He has. Yeah, he's sober, I think, about 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm sober about 19 years. But my losing Corey Haim was very tough.
Yeah, for
He
him.
also went through a tough breakup. And
Yeah.
he's got a kid that's named Zen that's about 22, 25 years old or
That's
something
cool,
like
man.
that.
Too, Zen.
He's such a great
Yeah.
guy. Really. Corey's so nice. Oh, that's me, my godson. Yeah, that's the joy of my life on the weekends and
Yeah.
soccer games
Yeah.
and seeing him grow up. And it's almost like selfish too, because I kind of get to parent my own inner child when I hang out with him.
Yeah.
Because I get to treat him with a lot of things that I wish I had
Right.
when I was 10.
Well, I think that we do a lot of that.
Absolutely.
You know, just like the things that we didn't have growing up, or you see a child that's close to you, you instill that
Exactly.
those thoughts in their head.
Yep, the unconditional love or
Yeah.
support, or even experiences or
Exactly.
gifts, things.
Yeah.
Like I put together a Lego set with him, 1,700 pieces. We didn't have money for Legos growing up. We didn't have money for shit. We got
Exactly.
whatever was left over by the church donations or
Yes,
whatever.
Yes.
So just all that kind of stuff is really
For
cool.
my daughter, because she loves drag queen shows.
Yeah.
She watches the drag queen on
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, not RuPaul's. What's the other one? Yeah, I think it was RuPaul. She watches RuPaul, but her favorite one was the one that has a restaurant in Milwaukee, actually.
Oh, interesting.
I can't think what it is now. It will come there eventually. But I love those shows. Those shows are phenomenal. I love them.
They do a great job.
And they do a great
I've,
show.
I've seen one personally. It was down in South Bend,
So
and you know, they're some of the coolest people,
Mhm.
more down to earth people, and they're really nice and genuine and fun to be
Drag
around.
is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a really amazing art and self-expression.
actually, I dated a drag queen's mom for about 6 months.
Oh, really?
And
Cool.
he does the shows, and he's got a crown. He did have a crown. He had to give it up this year at Kalamazoo.
Oh, nice.
And
Like Miss Kalamazoo drag or something.
yeah, it was Miss Moscato. That was her
Ooh, sponsored.
the stage name.
Oh, really?
So you met my daughter would be kind of jealous, because she knows who this one is. Drag Queen William.
I met Willem. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
I love
really?
Willem. Willem's a rebel.
Yes.
Willem's great.
Actually, she knows. My daughter knows who that is. That's phenomenal.
Tell her I'll say hi to Willem next time I see him.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Because
Yeah, RuPaul has this wonderful quote.
Wow,
We're all
awesome.
born naked, and the rest is drag.
That's a good turn on.
You better believe when somebody puts on that Bass Pro Shop hat and that fishing gear and that country gear, you
Yeah.
are doing drag.
Yeah.
You are doing the most butch male country drag. And when Joe puts on his dress and goes to Pride or whatever, he's doing drag. We're all doing drag, right? We're
To a
all
degree, yeah,
born naked, and the
yeah.
rest is drag.
I just,
Gender expression is
Yeah.
all drag.
I mean, it's
That's
just
really great.
fun just to be who you are.
Exactly.
I mean, I can go to a bar dressed in a Speedo if Tom will ever let me again, and just sit there
Why
at a
not?
bench and just sit there at the bar stool and just
You've done it so many times. though.
Do
I
it.
know. I've
What is
done.
that? Is that just play or is that just
Well, it's-
gender expression?
No,
How
it's
old
just being for who I
Yeah.
am. No, I've done it for on Labor Day, remember?
You
Down at
did,
Czars.
That's right. That's
Down
right.
at Czars, Labor Day weekend. I just sat there and I asked Tom, I said, hey, I'm going to the beach. might wear a Speedo. Can I come down to your bar afterwards? He
I
says,
love it.
sure, if you have shoes on. I said, I'll have shoes on. I have my flip-flops on, but yeah.
As long
Yep.
as it's sanitary.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care what people think about my body at all. My body's my body for a reason. I really don't care.
Good.
I am who I am for a reason. And my family raised me to be me. And that's the best person I ever can be.
Like your shirt says, be you.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was also neuroscience, but
Neuroscience Business
Yeah,
Unit,
yeah.
NBU.
Yep.
What a beautiful message.
There you go. All right, guys. It's 10 o'clock now. Let's finish this up.
Oh, that's right.
What we do at the end of the show, we let you give shout outs to people that's important to you, things that's coming up for you, things that.
Aw.
So if you got anything to say, go ahead and knock it out. We'll
First,
go.
I'd like to thank my higher power, who I choose to call Cher. Right? God is a woman. No, shout outs. Like, do people usually do people or celebrities or brands or
Anything
what?
you want.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Bonsai. No, I guess shout out like local people that have just made an impact in my life. Everyone that I have memories with here. I love driving around in this community and thinking about all the memories and the fond things I have from going to school here, up to middle school, St. Joe High School, Whirlpool people. I love people that I'm close with in my life now, like my godson, Harper, his mom, Erin, my siblings that I get to see here, my mom, Trevor's at home in Benton Harbor. Yeah, that's all the shout outs I can think of for now. And also to all of the great Southwest Michigan businesses that are going to sponsor this podcast, because this is the place to be.
We appreciate
Oh,
that.
thank you.
Thank you. Joe, go ahead.
No, how about you go first?
No, I haven't finished it off.
Ah, damn it. Okay. Well, for you, Brad, thank you for coming on the show. It was phenomenal having you on here. Well, it was more deeper than I thought I was going to get ever in my life with us asking us questions. But
Yeah, that was great. That was great. I love that.
he loves
Love
people ask us questions.
Thank you.
But for you, like I said, you are an icon. Like I said in my post, you're phenomenal for who you are, coming out, doing whatever at SMC, doing stuff at Whirlpool, LMC, name it. Everybody knows who you are from that. But telling your real story for who you are from California to now to everything else from here, that means more deep to me. Telling your story beyond that. Thank you for doing that on our podcast. That is phenomenal. And you keep on, sky's the limit for you, and keep on going another 1950 years and keep on going. You're awesome. And you and Trevor are phenomenal people. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Brad, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Like you said, telling your truth means a lot here. That's what the Third Eye Truth Theorem is about. I'm glad you came on, opening up. I mean, especially during this time of month. I mean, Pride Month, and then you have Men's Mental Health Month. It helps. It helps. Opening it up and telling your story was the key, and I learned a lot about you that I have never known about you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and you opened me up, telling a little bit of my story, asking questions. I enjoyed that. It felt great. I mean, lift a little burden off my shoulders here.
Thank you.
A little weight off my shoulders.
Thanks for being so open. I feel like I opened my third eye a little bit more.
Kelsey, what?
I'm looking at your weight. It's still there.
What?
I'm looking at your weight. It's still there.
Oh, wait.
He said lift a lot of weight off your shoulders.
Off my shoulders. Why are you looking around my midsection?
Oh,
Off my shoulders.
No bullying in mental health. One.
Jeez, yo.
Take a month off.
hey,
You
I'm
need
a jock.
you
Leave
need
me
a
alone.
break. All right, guys.
Jock in a skirt.
Once again, we want
Yeah, I love
to
it.
send a shout out to everybody that's been watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter.
We're on Twitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
also tell them about next Wednesday.
Oh, we will. Let me get to that. Guys, once again, we love you guys for watching. We love you guys participating in all our videos. Thank you so much. Wednesday night, we have Sarah Watkins and Shanae coming on.
You call her
Yeah,
Sarah and Shanae.
yeah. This show is probably gonna be this gonna be out of control. I
Those
gotta tell
girls
you
are
that.
wild. If you ask Sarah a bad question, she'll throw a sandwich at you. So Renee.
Yeah, that's the story. We don't have to ask about that. She'll probably get mad.
It's gonna be a good one.
But guys, thanks for watching us. We thank you so much. I'm James Gill, your host. Joe Hill, co-host. Brad Gorman, thank you for joining us once again, brother.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much
it
for having me.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here in about 10 seconds. But watch us next Wednesday at 8 p.m. We'll be here again. We love you guys so much.
Oh, and our 100th show,
It's coming up short.
29th,
The 29th of this month.
down at Nardo's.
We'll be ready. We're gonna be doing some good stuff down there.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're getting out of here. Episode 94. See you guys later.
So,